Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, Episode number 5. Today we're here with a little bit of a delay, so my apologies. The stream was supposed to be on Sunday, but I've been having some troubles with my internet service provider. So today we're going to be having a league. So welcome, guys. We got some really good competitors today, and I can tell you they were some fierce games. So the games were actually played offline because everyone was ready on Sunday. Everyone was together, so they played the games offline. I have all the replays. We're going to be going through all of them today and having some fun. So we're all fixed. We're good. And you wouldn't believe it. One of the main reasons why our internet was very slow. So we had a guy come the week before, and essentially he was like, oh yeah, everything looks fine, no problems. All right, let's just give it some time. Maybe it'll fix itself. It was very, lackluster service, I should say. But another guy came, and he climbed up the pole, and there had actually been squirrels chewing, like literally like these giant, I don't know, like prehistoric squirrels had been chewing on our cable that goes like up to the outlet, right? So it was actually squirrels, but he patched it up, he fixed it, and the internet was like good right away after that. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, a little bit of a stash, not much. So yeah, guys, as far as today's tale of the tape, you can go ahead and look at the brackets. We have Gojira facing off against Carp in Game 1, and it's going to be Odium Viage versus Warisha in Game 2. And again, the initial rounds are going to be best of 3s, and the finals will indeed be a best of 5, as is our usual format. So if we look at the history of Eternal Challenger League Season 2, you can see that Xiphos did win the first week, El Halcón the second week, Falcon, of course, the winning returning champion, won the third week, and Romulan Dog won the fourth week. So today, the competitors are going to be fighting for the 5th spot here, and it is going to be pretty good. Yeah, they're maybe the Skaven were trying to sabotage my lines. I'm not sure. There was some sort of treachery afoot. But anyways, guys, we're going to be jumping into the first match here in a second, and it's going to be between Gojira and Carp. Quite excited. Yeah, maybe there's some warpstone. The squirrel rat things we're looking at. Maybe it was Skaven in squirrel costumes. Who knows? Could have been some sort of treachery. So, Game 1 is going to be a showdown between the Tomb Kings, who shall be played by Carp, and Gojira is going to be playing the forces of the Greenskins. So certainly going to be a fun matchup. Historically, this is one that's been very, very tough for the Greenskins. But again, with the advent of the Arachnarok Spiders now having a bonus for large, they have a couple other options against Construct spam. So it really has changed up the gameplay quite a bit. Falcon, of course, won. Yeah, Falcon's very, very solid. Yeah, he's an incredibly good player, so wasn't surprised. But he had some good games there in that series, actually. He did indeed. So we're here in Game 1, and let us go ahead and switch on over to the battlefield, and here we go. So Carp is going to be playing the forces of the Tomb Kings, and Gojira is going to be leading the glorious Wa, as usual. So here in the front line, you can see Carp does indeed have an entire core of skeleton spearmen. So these guys, I mean, high melee defense, and if there are like trolls or any large threats like that, a lot of Tomb Kings players do like, or Greenskin players like to mix in trolls in the front line to kind of beat down constructs. So having some extra spears in the front isn't bad, but mainly it's just chaff. I mean, skeleton warrior spears. The winning is going to be done with skeleton chariots and the heavy hitters in the back line. So he does have a Tomb Scorpion. He does have the Chosen of the Gods, pretty good against the infantry. So these guys are better than regular Ushapti Great Bows against infantry. They have a bit of a slash attack, and yeah, a very, very solid choice here. So the Chosen of the Gods going to be going in deep on some of these Greenskin troops here. On the flank, Skeleton Horsemen Archers, which might actually have a little bit of trouble against the Magi Marauders and some of these Wolf Riders here. Granted, no. Okay, if there was Death's Creepers, for example, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, it could be a little bit of a different situation, but just against Wolf Riders, they should be fine. 140 range against 100, so they can actually out-skirmish them pretty effectively. Pretty cool. He's got Nehekar Horseman here on the far side, and it looks like Carp does also have a Tomb Prince, Grand Hierophant Kotep as well. So the OG, and Kotep, for anyone who doesn't know, is extremely good against Greenskins for one reason. So he has the Lich Staff. Whenever he casts a spell at all, it adds 15 seconds to all the abilities of the enemy's characters, and you name it. So basically the Wa is going to be almost impossible to cast if he's used correctly. Over here on the far side, we do also have more Skeleton Horseman Archers and all kinds of good stuff, and that is pretty much it for Carp's army. So really it's going to be a lot of like Skeleton Horsemen, Nehekar Horsemen, and 2 groups of Skeleton Chariots doing the heavy hitting. As far as constructs, he just has a Tomb Scorpion here. And Jason Denny, thank you for the donation here. Oh yeah, Falcon spoiled the series for himself, he says. It's been a while. Hopefully the squirrels don't come back and do it again. Jason, thank you so much for the 50, man. Firstly, I really appreciate that. And secondly, I don't know, the squirrels are still out there, but he kind of like reinforced the wires, so I think the squirrels shouldn't be able to chew through our wires. And for the forces of Gojira, so Gojira, again, is going to be playing the Greenskins. He's got Goblin Wolf Riders. He has more Ghost Major Marauders here, like I said, which are good against constructs. His front line is going to be a relatively mid-tier Wa. He's got Goblins. Savage Orcs, Black Orcs are probably my favorite choice against Tomb Kings because they are immune to Psych, they're durable, and I usually like to bring like 2 or 3 of them in this matchup. But again, against like a Construct Light army, they're not going to be quite as efficient. Let's see, Savage Orcs here, Black Orcs over here, and more Savage Orcs. Savage Orcs, get the work done against the chaff. They can beat down skeletons pretty easily. Azag the Slaughter up in the sky, another very good choice. Spirit Leech is very, very good here, although it looks like he made a bit of a mistake bringing the aspect of the Dread Knight, I think. Yeah, that must have been a mistake. Yeah, because you can't tear out the Tomb King, so yeah, it must have just been a little bit of a misplay there. Spirit Leech, and looks like an Arachnarok Spider in the back, and he does also have not the Queen, just 2 standard Arachnarok Spiders, so it looks like he's trying to save some money. So let's get this show on the road, guys, and see how this battle goes. It's going to be good. So the Greenskin Horde is going to be advancing, of course. Tomb Kings have the fire advantage, so they have to come forward. Ushabti Great Bows are going to be pouring into the Savage Orcs, getting some beautiful splash damage. Ushabti Great Bows are just such a good unit. Now, there also is a Tomb Prince here. The Tomb Prince is going to be pretty important for taking on the Arachnarok Spider, but the Spiders are going to be really good against a lot of these guys, and the Spider is also going to be good back against the Tomb Prince now, because it does have a bonus first large. Chariots on the far side are going to be tearing into the Savage Orcs here. Gojira looks like he's going to be countercharging with the Spider, so maybe the Spider is going to be able to block up the Chariots, and it actually does pin up one of the Chariot units, so the Arachnarok Spider might be able to kill that guy. And, anytime you can pick off Chariots with these mobile units, it's going to be pretty effective. Azag is going to be landing on the far side against those Skeletons, just trying to chip those guys down. I think he would be better used over here. So imagine if Azag was like right here, and he could just bounce over here, Spirit Leech his Tomb Scorpion, come in with his huge AP and do a ton of damage. And Grandpa Kotsep is going to be dropping the Druid Sandstorm right here, but it looks like it doesn't make the best contact. It kind of just chips at the edges a little bit. Azag is going to get bathed in that Nehekar magic, but for the most part, he's going to be pulling back up into the skies and looking for an opportunity to strike. Now, the Spiders are going to help win that frontline engagement in some respects. The Skeletons, of course, are crumbling rather quickly against the Greenskin Onslaught. And over here, the Arachnarok Spider is in mortal combat with the Tomb Scorpion. Now, I don't know why he's actually losing this fight. Oh, that's because the Ushabti Great Bows. So the Ushabti Great Bows have been shooting the Spider the entire time. Nehekar Horsemen are going to be sweeping in, trying to pin down the Spider and break its leadership. So Kark knows that he might not be able to burst this thing down super quick, but he also knows that if he breaks its leadership, he can simply chase it off the battlefield because he does have the advantage. Ushabti summoned in the back is going to be getting dropped behind the Black Orcs. Now they're probably just going to be piling into the Black Orcs, I would imagine, and they're a very good choice. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, and they're going to be having a pretty good time against these boys right here. So if we take a big old look at the battlefield, the Mountain Power is slightly in the favor of the Tomb Kings, but again, that's probably because of this Ushabti summon. The back line is actually in a little bit of a tough situation. Goblin Wolf Riders are being hunted down by Nehekar Horsemen, and over here you can also see that the Skeleton Horsemen Archers are pursuing off the Savage Orcs. So a lot of the Greenskin troops are buckling a little bit. Granted, Savage Orcs still fighting here, and the center pocket for the Greenskins is really going to be the name of the game. Because there's 2 groups of almost full health Black Orcs, so we have 57 right here, we have another, is that 57? 57? What are the odds of that? So this is going to be really tough to break, especially if Gojira can actually keep the Arachnarok Spider back on the formation and just be very, very careful here. Because if the Arachnarok Spider gets kind of pulled away and picked apart, and the Black Orcs will probably just get cycle charged to death. Granted, these Ushabti are going to be disappearing in a second. They are a summoned unit, and of course summoned units do disappear after a set amount of time. Their unbinding happens to be 87 seconds. It's actually different for every unit, so every unit has a different unbinding time. The Arachnarok Spider doing a pretty good job holding, and it looks like Gojira might actually be able to kind of get back into this game here, using this Black Orc pocket just to kind of hold Azag the Slaughter. In the meantime, is going to be going after the Ushabti Great Bows in the back. And, I mean, he's relatively tanky. He does have 70 armor, very, very low melee defense. So, I mean, he can't even get chipped down by these type of units. And the Tomb Prince is coming in. This is potentially a pretty big misplay here by Gojira. Going over here, getting isolated like this. Had he just been really conservative and stayed on top here of his main force and used the Black Orcs to grind out this fight, I think he would be in a better situation. Oh, and the Darude Sandstorm coming down, dropping those sweet bows right here. And that's going to be going through these forces. Brutal stuff. And you can see these guys are going to be getting chewed up right here. A lot of the Black Orcs took some damage, some friendly fire on the Vortex, but for the most part, that was a beautiful cast, getting all over those filthy Black Orcs. In the meantime, Azag is chased off, and I think that was one of the bigger mistakes Gojira made this game. He was in okay shape, actually. Having 2 Black Orcs like this, plus a full health Spider. The Ushabti Great Bows are running low on ammo. Kotsep can't really fight. The Skirmisher Cav are going to be running out of ammo. I think had that been done a little bit differently and Azag had stayed back here, I really think that Gojira could have won the center fight and then started to push out, but now the Spider is going to be kind of the last bastion for the Greenskins. You can see that the Horsemen are going to be charging in. He's just trying to shock and break its leadership at this point. And he has a Tomb Prince and a Tomb Scorpion. The Spider might be able to beat the Tomb Scorpion. The Black Orcs, with a little bit of encouragement, they could keep fighting. I mean, because like I said, the Great Bows don't have too much ammo left. 6 volleys, that's probably enough to really hammer these guys home. And that is going to be game 1, it looks like, for Kark. So Kark is going to go up 1-0 in this series with a victory. And now, I honestly do think that's a hard matchup for the Greenskins. With the Bonewood staff or the Lich staff, you're almost never able to cast Wa. It really delays your Spirit Leeches, all kinds of stuff like that. So that was a tricky one. But I think that misplay at the end, I understand why he did it, because the Ushabti Great Bows were annihilating his spiders and his infantry. So going over there to shut those guys down. But again, there were so many Cav and a Prince nearby. It was a bit of a bold strategy, Cotton. It didn't pay off, but I have to say, well played to Gojira. That's a hard matchup, and Kark is a very, very good player. So Gojira did a great job that game. But that is going to be 1-0 for Kark here. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. And here we go. We're updated. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining. Felcon, thank you for sponsoring the channel, man. Now you have a cool squig icon. And depending on how long you've been a sponsor, you get a different icon. So you can see Felcon has a squig, and I think Pone's been a sponsor forever, so he has Mouse to Monday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the first game of the day. That was the first game of the day? Yes. Welcome.
You are a widower. Your wife is a roasted chicken.
Must be pretty hot. Yeah, it's really hot here in California right now, actually, guys.
104.
Well, 104 degrees outside? Damn, it's hot.
Do you need anything?
I'm good, baby. Thank you. Lady Turin says hello, everyone. Lady Turin says hello. So yes, we're going to go back to the desk here. And for anyone just joining, let's actually go over the brackets again. So the first game is Gojira versus Carp. Carp is currently up 1-0, and it's going to be ODM Viash facing off against Marisha. And again, the winners of these two games will face off in a best-of-5 finals. And now we're going to go over to the desk where you guys can see my ugly mug. So we're going to be setting up the next game here. Tomb Kings versus Greenskins in game 1. And now we're going to be going to game 2, which is going to be Gojira playing the forces of Norska facing off against Kark's Lizardmen. And Alex Hughes, thank you for sponsoring the channel, man. The fire rises indeed. I know, we're going to have our more regular ECLs now, so don't worry, guys. It's going to be more consistent. I had internet problems for like 2 weeks. God, that was frustrating. Oh, man. Alex, thank you for sponsoring the channel, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the new Squigocon and all that other good stuff. So, all right. So let's load up the second game. Yeah. Abercan, you're here. It's happening, man. It's going to be Kark's Lizardmen facing off against Gojira's Norska. So I actually think this is a pretty fun matchup. I think Norska has a pretty good, I think they have a decent matchup here. Famir are very good against dinos, but the new dinosaurs, the new Lizardmen, definitely have a lot of counterplay. So yeah, we'll see what he decides to bring. All right, guys, so we're going to be loading back into the game here, and we will see you on the battlefield. All right, guys, welcome back. It's showtime for the forces of the dinos. Now, Kark is going to be playing the dinosaurs, like I said, and he has a very, very... Turin, let's see. Let me see. Okay, so Weresha's in chat. He says, Weresha. Okay. I'll try my best. Weresha. Got it. Okay, so here in the front line, we have skink cohorts with javelins for Kark, and these guys aren't going to hold terribly long. Granted, against like berserkers and like, low armored troops, their javelins can do some okay work, and it looks like Kark is very much going to be going for like a battlefield denial build. So he's not going to be taking I hope for his sake, he's not going to be taking a straight up fight, because here in the front, he just has skink cohorts to kind of slow things down with their javelins. And in the back, this is something like people often use salamanders and things like that, but seeing the Bastillodons with solar engines is going to be very, very strange here. So there's actually going to be 2 of them. So these guys are good against light armor. So if they're shooting berserkers, not so good against Famir, but there are some pretty good targets for them. And of course, they could burn down Throg. Throg is weak to fire. These guys do fire damage. Throg has like almost no armor. And these guys, well, 55. But yeah, these guys can actually kill Throg rather quickly if they focus him. He does also have a Sora Scar veteran up on a fat T-Rex here. So going to be dropping the fat Rex. And yeah, this guy's, anti-large armor piercing, very good against Famir, good against Throg, mobile, and it looks like the Mazda Mundi. We got Jabba the Hutt, he does have nets, and anytime you're going to be using like a battlefield control build like this, having nets of Ammontalk is going to be super important, plus he does also have Apotheosis, so yeah, good stuff there. Up in the sky, man, this is such a strange build. He does have Pterodon Riders, he have Pterodon Riders across the board, and it looks like it's going to be the Fire Leech Bolus on all of those guys, so they're just going to be going in deep, and like I said, Norska does generally have a lot of lightly armored targets, so this build is very, very creative to say the least. Cold One Spear Riders in the back to help with the anti-large. So yeah, his front line is going to falter, so he's going to need some effective cab charges and nets, as well as some interference here from the Pterodon Riders. And now for the armies of Gojira, he's got Marauder Champions and Berserkers in the front line. A great choice. I think Marauder Champions are one of the best picks against the dinosaurs. They're very effective in the front line. They can beat swords. They beat pretty much everything with the exception of Temple Guard. On top of that, we got Marauder Hunters with Javelins. We have Throg Daddy. Throg Daddy's going to be throwing up and having a good old time. We do also have Famir Warriors with Great Weapons. Pretty much a staple against dinos. Anti-large, armor piercing. A very, very good pick here. We have a Firecaster, so Fireball and Flaming Sword, but he might actually get picked off by the Solar Engine. It's going to be interesting. And the Mods of Savagery in the back. So these werewolves are also weak to fire, so they can potentially take some damage here. So yeah, it's pretty hot out here for sure. It is very, very hot. Yes. All right, guys. It is time. Gotham's Reckoning. The forces of Kark, who is playing the Lizardman, is going to be throwing some bolas here. So he's going to be dropping some bows here onto the Marauder Berserkers, and it does some okay damage. But again, they're a unit that over the course of a long battle can grind down these type of troops. Javelins are going to be coming in as well, but the Skinks should probably start running as soon as they unleash their Javelins. Just take advantage of their speed. But the Berserker is getting peppered pretty good by that Javelin fire. Great stuff. Here, the Javelins of the Norskins are going to be returning fire against the Skinks, who are shielded, so it's not going to be as great. And it looks like these solar engines are shooting the Famir. So the Famir are going to be pretty tanky. Solar engines do not have the best AP. So now a giant T-Rex is going to be running in here, just kind of jumping on these guys, headbutting some of them. He's more meant versus large targets, but nonetheless, having his presence here to kind of tank these guys isn't going to be a bad thing. Now you can see the solar engines have switched onto Throg, which is the appropriate target. He is a very, very good and tasty target. In the back, the Norscan Warhounds are going to be sweeping around the back. I wonder if they're going to attack the Bastillodon, but it looks like the Pterodon Riders are going to be swooping down. So dual purpose from these guys. They're not terrible in combat. 26-22 and their weapon strength is 60. So they can easily kind of finish off Hounds, and countercharge coming in from the Coldland Spear Riders. So very, very good backline play here from Carp. He's able to protect a lot of his troops here. And the Maws of Savagery are going to be charging in, but they do get intercepted by the Coldland Spear Riders. Those werewolves were a little bit bloodthirsty to get that fat toe, but Mazdamundi is able to pull back, and it looks like he actually does use a net on Throg. So there's not really going to be any net play against the Maws of Savagery, who quickly retreat, therefore pulling the Coldland Spear Riders into this Norskin Blob, which actually works out pretty well. So Throg is here, he's going to be fighting some of these guys, and it looks like the Sora Scar veteran is going to be going after Throg and just kind of trampling him, which is always a good time to see. And a Fireball is going to be going down on the Fat Toad in the back, and it makes okay contact. Mazdamundi is quite thick, so it's not going to be the biggest thing in the world. And you can see the Pterodon Riders, who are going to be affected by the shield of the old ones, are going to be diving in and attacking the Marauder Hunters with Javelins. And I really like this play here from Carp. Using those guys to kind of sweep around and just kind of not only be like range pressure, but also a bit of a goon spot is quite cool. Now, the Norskins are slowly starting to push through the front line. Gojira's forces are just crumping all over the Skink cohorts. And when you have to start running with Pistolodons with solar engines is when you basically lose 1,100 gold. It is certainly a very tough situation in that respect. So some of the Berserkers are piling in. There are some Coldland Spear Riders back here to kind of help out a little bit, but they're not going to be able to stop these Fimir Warriors. Fimir Warriors are a much stronger unit, especially with the support of infantry. This Pistolodon is now offline, and you can see here Gojira's forces are just on the hunt. Throg Daddy's doing a very good job, so Gojira is doing great work here on the hunt. Maws of Savagery are going to be going after the Sora Scar veteran, and he's going to be able to run, but he is going to get frostbitten potentially by Throg, so his speed right now is 93, and if Throg hits him, let's see if he makes contact here. Throg's like trying to get to the back. Oh, and Throg kicks him. And does that slow him down? It doesn't look like it applied Frostbite that time, so maybe he was able to get away there. Kark still does have a decent mobile force up in the skies. The Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bolas might want to just attack the Maws of Savagery, but it looks like they're going after the Javelins, which isn't a bad choice. You need to shut down the counterplates of themselves, right? So just make sure they're safe. But some of the Javelins are still shooting, going after the Sora Scar veteran. And it looks like some of the Coldland Spear Riders did actually rampage into those werewolves, but they're just going to get straight up like American Werewolf in London right here. It is not going to be a good situation for those guys as they are being slapped up by the werewolves. So yeah, you can see they're roaring, they're happy, they're having a good time. The Throg is on the hunt, and yeah, there's the Frostbite. So 48 speed here on the Sora Scar veteran. He's now slower than Throg, so if Throg wants to, he can kind of keep him pinned this entire battle. And Gojira does also pull some Premier Warriors with great weapons over here, and it looks like the Sora Scar veteran is going to be going down. So it is going to be the Throg is the metaphorical comet for this dinosaur here, and you can see in the back Berserkers are surging in. The solar engines are shut down. In Norska, it looks like they're going to be taking this game. I just don't see any way that the forces of the Lizardmen and Kark can get back in here. I mean, Jabba the Hutt, you know, he's thick and all, but this boy is not going to be able to run. I mean, he is just moving along, and it looks like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. They got some Skinks left. They got Pterodon Riders who are going to be running out of ammo relatively soon. The Bastillodons are still here, but they're just being chased, and like they're just basically dead weight. They're basically just like Bastillodons who are going to have to fight against like Fimir and elite troops. One of them does get a nice little shot against Throg as his final death throw right there, but looks like that's going to be pretty much it. As we do kind of push through this game here, Throg is going to be using his anti-large to just club through this Bastillodon. There are some Coldland Spear Riders out here in the distance, but they're going to be getting run down by the champions. Marauder champions are just so meaty in this matchup. Having that armor plus the physical resist and that enrage mechanic is just so good, and the Coldland Spear Riders are going to be falling over here. And let's look back to the main battle. Jabba the Hutt is going to be getting hunted down by Famirs with great weapons. How fast is he? He has 34 speed. Famir have 45, give or take. Yeah, so they're going to be able to get in there. Yeah, I was wondering, because Salamanders I feel like would be a bit of a safer pick here. The Solar Engine pick was very interesting. It's a bit of an old school thing. I can see it though, against like Throg and Skinwolves. They do fire damage, so there is a bit of a perk in that respect, but the Salamanders are just so much more mobile. The problem with the Bastillodons is once they get caught with their 40 speed, they can't really get away from a lot of threats and things like that. So that's it. That is it for now. So Gojira is actually going to tie up the series 1-1. So we're going to see who's going to be advancing to the finals here with this next game. Yeah, the squirrels got me pretty good the other day for sure. So we got a couple donations from King Ajazal, Execute Order 66, and he donates $6.66. I love it. Thank you, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. And also from Magnum Knights for the $5 Canadian. Throgdor, pounding the desert side, pounding all the lizards. Throgdor. Oh my God, that takes me back to the early 2000s, man. That is some old school stuff. All right, so with that, Gojira is going to be going up. Not up, but he's going to be tying up the series here between him and Kark. And we're going to be jumping over to the next game here in just a moment. So just wait a couple minutes here. Let me stretch out the old hands, the old arms. I actually played in my first Warhammer 40K tournament on Saturday. So I played in a competitive ITC event. And it was about a 30-man tournament. And hey, and Pancase Lizard donated $7. Turn, what do you think? Who has the strongest Cackle in the current metagame? Oh, man. So thank you firstly for the donation. And who has the strongest Cackle in the metagame? Oh, that is a tough one. I honestly think that the strongest Cackle, it's not Helmengorst. It's probably going to be a basic Necromancer for the vampire counts. Like, the Necromancers, like, just have the most ridiculous, like, stupid cackles. Yeah. So that's going to be my 2 cents there. Yes. Basic Necromancer for the vampire counts is going to be my guess. So currently, Carp 1-1, and whoever wins this is going to be advancing to the final. So on that note, guys, we're going to go back to the desk so you guys can't see the other replays and how they go. And we're going to jump over to the next game, which is going to be Carp on the Wood Elves facing off against Gojira, who is now going to be playing the Children of the Old Ones, the Lizard Men. So let us jump into this game, guys, and have some fun. Man, I almost like choked myself right there. Water went down the wrong pipe. Just give me a hot second, brothers. Oof. I don't know. Heinrich Himmler does have a pretty good cackle. You have a very, very strong argument for that. And perhaps we'll do a video on who has the best cackle. The top 5 cackles in Total War Warhammer. I'm sure you guys would love that video. All right, guys. So let's switch back to the battle here. Man, that was like, I almost like choked right there. Here we go. Volkbar on his Pimp Chariot. All right, so it looks like we're good. Everyone can see the game. And it is showtime. So it's 4:10. Michael says it's 4:10 in southern China. And then I see an ECL. Damn, 4:10, dude. What a hero. What a hero. All right. So this is it. This is game 3. Carp is currently going to be playing the Wood Elves. Gojira is going to be playing the Lizardmen. It is 1-1. The winner of this is going to be going on to the grand finals. And it is going to be a fierce cockfight, I'm sure. So in the front line for the Wood Elves, it looks like Dryads. Dryads aren't a bad pick against Dinos. They obviously beat down Skinks pretty efficiently. They will lose to Saurus head-to-head, but they still have decent damage output and physical resist. And the magic damage can be pertinent under certain circumstances. So having the Dryads here, definitely like it. And it looks like in total he does have 4 of those bad boys. Eternal Guard do get crumped pretty bad by Saurus, so I see why going with these guys, just so he can at least get some punch out of his front line, is going to be his decision. And in the back, this is going to be the classic competitive Wood Elves. It looks like in total he does have 3 Way Watchers. So the Way Watchers going to be dropping some heavy AP shots from 190 meters or distance, I guess. And it looks like they also have 30 missile damage. Yeah, these guys. Way Watchers hit like absolute trucks. And if you pair them with the Praven Athrama, it is just like a competitive build. I mean, it is so hard. If you slip up once against Way Watchers with Prey, like send a Lord forward or someone you don't want to get caught, it is going to be a bad time. So these guys are pretty solid. He does also have a Spellsinger with the Lore of Life. And the Spellsinger, of course, has Earthblood. Just going very economical with his build here. In the forest, he's got a couple Eternal Guard, just kind of screening things out. Eternal Guard over here, just making sure no lizards can sneak around his front line. Sisters of Thorn, and over here in the forest, it looks like we're going to have the Eternal Guard and Eternal Guard. So they're not going to be the frontline core, but they're just going to be used as a battlefield denial, just kind of controlling the flanks, which I like quite a bit. Yeah, I'll have a mullet someday. It's a very big commitment, though, so it'll have to be a time in my life in which I think I'm ready for it. And for Gojira, so it looks like there's a bit of a trend here with the Pterodon Riders. So we saw them last game from Carp, and it looks like Gojira is also going to be using these bad boys. So Pterodon Riders, in total, he does have 4 groups, one of which is going to be the Powhawks of Sentinels. So going to be harassing the Wood Elves. And Wood Elves do have a lot of light armor, but, you know, the Way Watchers certainly can shoot those guys out of the skies if you're not careful. Gojira does also have 2 Chameleon Skinks, and the front line is going to be a combination of Skink cohorts, and that's it. No, nothing else. He does also have Henwin, who's going to be flying up here with his tablet. He's going to be shouting the 10 Commandments as he beats down some of these Wood Elves here, but he does have the Manticore Summon plus the Flock of Doom. Now, he's not as strong as he was before with the nerf to summons, because Manticore Summons just aren't as good as they used to be, but it's still not bad. I mean, getting in there, doing some damage with Manticore, cannot complain. In the back, he does have Salamander hunting packs. Very interesting. So Gojira coming in with 3 hunting packs and 2 Colden Riders in the back as well. Now, they're not going to be the Spear Riders. They're just a standard variant. Interesting. I would expect the Spear Riders here, but I guess there's no large really aside from the Eagle, so it's not going to make much of a difference. As a matter of fact, it'll probably be better. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road and have some fun. So the pterodactyls are going to be swooping in, but they have to be careful. The Way Watchers are currently stalked, which means that Gojira cannot see them. But once they get a little bit closer, they're going to be in range here in a matter of seconds. So they're dropping some fire onto the Dryads, and Dryads are weak to fire damage, so there is a bit of an application there. Sisters of Thorn are also going to be scooting forward to kind of shoot those guys, and it looks like Gojira is going to be falling back, being trying to be conservative with those guys. Obviously, all the Way Watchers are in range, and you can see Carp blobs them up, which means he gave an attack order over here. Basically, he's like sending them all this direction. So yeah, at this point, he's going to be pulling back. So Gojira does have a nice little position in the forest. The archers aren't going to be super effective there, but right now the bolas are going to be shooting down, going after the Sisters of Thorn and some of these other targets here. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, looks like Pterodon Riders all having a good time. And here come the bolas. And it looks like these Sisters of Thorn are able to matrix that out, which is going to be quite nice. And oh man, taking a little bit of damage up here in the skies. Pterodon Riders are getting poked by the Way Watchers. They've lost one model so far, which isn't catastrophic. And it looks like the Dryads might want to push forward and fight. Honestly, fighting in the woods for them isn't going to be a big issue. Yeah, Gojira has to really be careful. The Way Watchers can vastly outrange these guys. So fighting and kind of skirmishing here is kind of slowly becoming a non-factor, an option he can't really pursue. So maybe he's going to be scooting forward with the Salamanders. Salamanders, do they have any sort of missile resist? It does not look like it. So Way Watchers are a very, very good natural counter against Salamanders. They're going to be shooting up in the skies. Oh, and the Salamander barrage coming in and pounding that Glade Lord. Oh man, the Glade Lord didn't see those guys. So a lot of damage coming in, not as bad as it could have been. So the Glade Lord is going to be falling back. Salamander is going to be dropping some of that sweet fire on that flying pigeon. And over here in the meantime, it looks like the front line is going to be getting pressured by the Sisters of Thorn, who are going to be riding through some of these chameleon skinks and potentially pressuring those guys. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit tough. I mean, hiding in the forest, at least Gojira does minimize the effectiveness of the Way Watchers. And over here, you can see the Glade Lord is actually going to be attacking here and choosing to fight with the Great Eagles against the Pterodon Riders. And Gojira feels comfortable fighting with the Salamander hunting packs, just kind of shooting these guys down. But he's really getting the bottom end of this trade here. Both of these Pterodon Riders just got punished by those Eagles. And now it looks like the Way Watchers are actually shooting. So what are they shooting? Okay, they're going after the Salamanders, it looks like. A little bit out of range at the moment, but yeah, they're going to be... You have to be very conservative with your ammo if you're going to be playing the Wood Elves. You have to be very, very careful, because if your Way Watchers run out of ammo, that's like 4,000 gold. That's basically just like haggard, terrible infantry. So the shots are going to be going into the hunting packs, who are obscured partially in the forest, so they're not going to be taking the full brunt of that damage. In the meantime, the Great Eagles, that was just a good pick by Carp. Carp was able to get the Pterodon Riders off the battlefield. He took a little bit of damage, but nothing that an Earthblood Band-Aid couldn't kind of heal. Now, it is a Winds of Magic investment, but nonetheless, I would say that battle went a little bit better there for Carp. Now, the dinosaurs are going to be charging out of the forest, getting a nice little charge into the Dryads here, and they are shielded, so it's not going to be the end of the world if they get focused down here. Gojira needs to get his cab and just bull rush back here. Granted, no, not with Sisters of Thorn. I forgot they were back here, so that is still a bit of a risky play. So I guess just playing defensively, but oh, look at this. Oh, the shots in their backs are turned, which means their shields are not going to be helping them. Brutal stuff. I think at that point, just committing to the fight would have been the better choice. And the Golden Riders are going to be attacking these Sisters right here. And they are going to be using the curse. So the curse is going to be getting dropped here. Of course, these Sisters of Thorn do have bound spells, which means they're just going to get massacred. The Golden Riders are going to have a problem. But Gojira with some good cycle charging in the front is going to be charging in. Salamanders are going to be dropping some hot fire onto the Sisters of Thorn, who of course are pretty good targets. And you can see they are getting melted down. So Gojira's Salamander play here might be able to pull him back in this quarter here. And the Salamanders are doing a lot of damage here. But no, keep shooting. Why are you running? Keep shooting. He might be having an issue with line of sight or something. I'm not sure why Gojira isn't actually just shooting, because I think that would be a better choice. But anyways, the Golden Riders in the front are actually able to break up the Dryads, which is great. And the Manticore summon is going to be coming down for Gojira. So the Manticores are going to be jumping into the back. And this is something that he really needs here. This Manticore needs to terror out these guys. It needs to do some work and potentially punish them. And the Powhawks and Sentinels are also getting focused down. And over here to Henwin up in the skies is having the duel of his life. He's actually going to be fighting against two Great Eagles, of course, a Glade Lord and a Spellsinger. And he does have some Salamander Overwatch, and you can see here the Glade Lord is actually getting hurt pretty bad as well. There are some chameleons in the forest who are going to be applying poison, and Henwin is able to kind of squeak away here, and maybe he's going to attack the back line, hard to say. In the meantime, though, the Golden Riders are getting taken out by the Sisters of Thorn, and this is probably going to be the nail in the coffin, as the Wood Elf Riders are going to be able to get on Salamanders. And Salamanders do not have good combat stats. They have 25, 22 melee defense. I mean, they're just going to get getting melted probably. Even like most skirmisher cav units can really pressure them pretty hard. And Henwin up in the skies is going to be getting hunted here by the Great Eagle, and it looks like he's going to be out of the picture with 790 HP. The boy is trying his best, but alas, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Now, the Manticore is still rampaging in the back line, but the Manticore is a summoned unit. It's going to be disappearing here in a couple seconds, so that's going to be pretty much a non-factor. There are some Golden Riders here, but Kark has pulled his Eternal Guard from their far watch over here in the forest, and they're easily going to be able to make short work of these rampaging Golden Riders. Now, back in the main fight, there are some Skinks fighting, but it looks like the Wood Elves are sweeping the fight in pretty much every respect now. So the Ancient Salamanders, they tried their hearts out, but they weren't terribly accurate against those Eagles that were moving so fast, and it would seem that they just didn't pay for themselves. So Kark is going to be going up 2-0 here. Yes, yes. And let us go ahead and update that. Or 2-1, excuse me. Man, my brain is just not processing. This is actually live, Raw Cauliflower. This is 100% live. I'm looking at replays, but I'm commenting live, so don't worry. Don't worry, guys. All right, so firstly, we have another donation to kind of shout out here. So, Wester, hey man, it was a pleasure doing the interview with you, man. And he says, Lord T, keep lighting it up. Love your content, and my girl loves your cackle. Oh, my cackle. That's pretty funny. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. I saw you drop the popcorn at the beginning, so that's pretty solid stuff. Yes. So Kark is going to win that series 2-1, and on that note, let us go ahead and update the bracket for today. And Carp is going to be moving on to the finals to face the winner of Odium Viash and Waresha. Waresha, I think I said it right. Yeah, the Lizardman Firepower, the Salamanders just didn't cut the weight. I mean, even when they got that like ideal target, they didn't melt it. I don't know. And with Way Watchers, like having that 190 range against their short range, it's just like, it's so hard to kind of counterplay that because the Way Watchers can just kind of keep them at a distance and really kind of minimize their effectiveness. So yeah, and if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do drop a like. It does help out quite a bit. I'm not a robot. Bum. I don't have like a good evil cackle. I just have, I like to think I just have like a hearty laugh of sorts, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Yes. Yeah, Dryads are pretty good. I mean, the Way Watchers were really the breadwinners in that matchup, I think. So back to the desk where we'll hang out for a minute. And it is time. Yeah, more memes from Carp. Oh, I'm excited for that. So for the next series, we had one replay, which was unfortunately corrupted for the next game between Viash and Waresha. Yes, hopefully I'm doing that right. So there's only going to be one replay there. So, but regardless, the winner of this replay wins the series. So for the next one, it's only going to be one game. It was a best of 3, but one of the replays was like corrupted for some reason. When they sent it to me, it was like super laggy and just wasn't working. I don't know how the hell that happens, but anyways, don't worry, guys. We're gonna make it good. So let me find the next game here, and it is going to be, yes, this one. Perfect. So let me update the scoreboard as well here once we get into the game. Oh. Yeah, Anna, how do you say that name? Waresha? Is it Waresha? He says, so he's in chat right now, and he says it's not Polish. Okay. All right, guys, so we're back. We're going to jump back into the game here. So this is round 2, so we're going to update the scoreboard real quick. It's going to be this and this. And we got to update the scores. It won't take long, my friends. I just want to, oh my God, it is so hot here. Even I'm sweating. I mean, I actually kind of like it, so. Gotta love Haggard updating on the go. And he's going to be facing off against Viash. Perfect. We're good. It is time. Let there be a reckoning. So, follower of Slanesh got deleted. Oh my God. All right, guys. So the other replay, unfortunately, there was some issue with it. It just wasn't working. So we're just going to be doing this one. But it was a 2-0 series. So the winner of this did indeed win 2-0. And from there, I have all the replays for the finals. There was no issues with those. So don't worry, guys. We're in good hands. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. So for the Forces of Chaos, we're going to be played by Waresha. He's going to be using Sigvald. So we have Sigvald in a competitive game. Now, Sigvald, if he does have any applications against Vampire Coast, he's not bad. He's got a silver shield, so he's really hard to focus down. Plus, he's also very tough to kill. And Vampire Coast is a faction that's very exceptional at sniping out characters and things like that. So there is an argument to be made for the good old Prince here. So we're going to see how he does. So we got Prince Sigvald here. And across the sunset, it's going to be Marauders. So obviously, he's experienced in this matchup. Just going with a wide army, shielded infantry is very, very good against Vampire Coast. And if they go with big monsters, it could be a little bit scary, actually. Had the Vampire Coast gone with like a Crab Rush build, he might have been in some trouble. Granted, in the back, he does have Summoners of Rage, plus Marauder Horsemaster. So yeah, he was well equipped to deal with either build. So Waresha here does have the Prince Sigvald, Chaos Warriors across the front line. He does also have a Chaos Sorcerer with a Fireball. And in the back, we have a couple Chariots. So Chariots are good against Vampire Coast as well, getting into the gun line, just causing disruption. Not as good against like Chariots are really good at breaking leadership and just punching through lines. Vampire Coast lines are a little bit more tar pity and dense. So Chariots aren't as good, but they're still not bad. I think they're a good choice if you're expecting a gun line. So a couple Chariots there. And top of that, he does have the Mirror Guard. So Slanesh's personal bodyguard. So Sigvald, for once, is actually going to be here with his personal bodyguard. And it is indeed going to be lore friendly. And I am quite excited to see these guys in action. He's got a Fireball caster over here, Fireball and Burning Head, 2 Horsemasters, and the Summoners of Rage. You always have to respect the dynamic build. So if somebody does come with crabs, you don't want to just lose the game, right? Coming with them crabs. Yes, yes. So for the Forces of Vampire Coast, now this build here by Odium Viash is an old school build. Like when Vampire Coast first came out, before the nerfs to deck droppers, this was like a very common thing against Chaos. You control this guys using Luther guys, and then you spam deck droppers using the horse masters. Deck droppers can outrange the horse masters as well, so he can control the skirmish game pretty hard. Luther can go in and cycle charge and harass things. It is still a very mean build, but it's not quite as good as it used to be. And in the back, the rest of his army, he does have Lamprey's Revenge and just Deckhand. So that's it. So it's really going to be what you see here, the double terror guys. So Fireball going in, and it does hit Luther, making contact. Now, he does have the Hunger and Healing, of course, so it's not going to be terrible, but getting a Vampire Lord closer to their healing cap is always going to be very good. Now, in the back, the Fellbats are going to be scouting. They do see the Marauder Horsemasters, so there are some options for that. And Luther Harken, where is he going to go? I mean, honestly, I would probably just attack the Chariots or either go after the Chaos Warriors and just try and get some freebies. And it looks like he might be going after the Horsemasters. Yes, the Fellbats are going to be kind of screening those guys out, I think. Yeah, he's kind of just like watching them and following their movements. But in the meantime, oh yeah, this is nasty. Luther Harken has a really accurate pistol, so he's going to be able to just shoot this Chaos Sorcerer. And it looks like the Terrorgeist is going to be jumping down as well. So the Chaos Sorcerer is going to be unleashing a Fireball. So very rough start here for Chaos. Reja is in a little bit of trouble as this Chaos Sorcerer should die here. I mean, if Luther Harken flies overhead and makes sure to finish him off and chase him off the battlefield, that is going to be magic gone. Now, the one advantage Chaos has is their infantry are going to be pressing here. And, I mean, this Chaos, this force with the Vampire Coast is extremely weak. I mean, this is a very, very weak army here as far as the ground forces go. So Chaos should be able to win that fight, especially with the Prince here. But in the back, Chariots are having to fight. Summoners of Rage actually jump out of the forest, and they are able to lay a bit of a beating here on some of the Fellbats. But it doesn't look like they're able to get Luther Harken. Luther is going to be chasing off this caster, which is a good choice. You need to shatter him, though, because if he does come back and drop fireballs in the late game, it's kind of your investment is going to be for naught. So Luther Harken going to be chasing that guy off. And the other Terrorgeist here, did it get back up in the skies? It looks like we have Deck Droppers shooting in. Deck Droppers should 100% be shooting Summoners of Rage. That is a great choice, getting rid of those guys. It frees up your Terrorgeist to be extremely effective. So, and it looks like the other Terrorgeist did indeed get back up in the skies. So Luther, did he get the Chaos Sorcerer off the battlefield? The Chaos Sorcerer is going to be running, but is he going to rally here? He's got 4 leadership. He might be able to. And no, it looks like the Chaos Sorcerer is going to be gone. So very, very good early pick here for Odi and Vyash. And you can see here the Deck Droppers with handguns are doing a good job fending off the Summoners of Rage. Now, of course, based on the builds, the early game is going to be going to Vampire Coast, but the late game, when the Chaos Forces actually make it to the back line here and are able to deal with the Deckhand mobs, is when things are going to change here. So Reja is going to be pushing in using the Chaos Marauders and Sigvald. So a lot of this army is just rock hard to get in, rock hard to do some action, but you can see the Vampire Coast, aerial harass is just forcing back the Summoners of Rage. But the nerfs are not as accurate, they don't hit as hard as they once did, and they have less ammunition. So if they run out of ammo, that is a big portion of the army, which are just basically Walmart Fellbats, or I guess discount Fellbats. I mean, they're better than Fellbats, but you guys get the picture. So the Chariots are going to be slamming in, Wersha wasting no time in getting to Vyash's line here, and they are able to do some damage. They don't actually kill any of the models, which is interesting, but the Marauders are going to be getting in, Mirror Guard getting in, and the fight is underway. So Prince Sigvald, the prodigal son of Slanesh, going to be charging in to fight these guys. There are going to be some shotgun blasts going down from the Crab Boys, and those Crabs are going to be tough to kill. But if Chaos is able to get the Summoners of Rage over here to kind of fight, I think they'll be okay. So it looks like there is going to be a Deckhand mob summon. As far as the leadership goes, it looks like there's a Vampire Fleet Captain with Vampires back there, going to be dropping all that good stuff. Chariots are coming in. Summoners of Rage, I don't know why they're waiting back here. I think they're just trying to wait in the forest and wait out the ammunition, just so they don't get picked off, because I feel like he probably thinks that if he runs through the open field, he'll get picked apart, and he's probably right. So hiding back here, using the trees as a shroud against the Deck Dropper is not a bad idea. Now, the Terror guys are going to be returning back to the main battle. They're very much needed, though, because the Marauders are going to crump all over this line. You can see the Vampires. Deckhand mobs are getting worn down just across the entire board. The polearms here are getting worn down. It's looking pretty grim bones here for the Vampire Coast forces. Plus, a lot of their summons, which they're relying on to kind of hold, are going to be disappearing. Now, we got more Chaos Warriors coming in. Chariots in the back are just running through these forces. More Chaos Marauders on the far side. And the Mirror Guard, Slaanesh is chosen, are going to be pushing through. And you can see the Deckhand mobs are all crumbling. So, yeah, I mean, those Terrorgeists are going to have their work cut out for them. Death Shriek Terrorgeists are a little bit better against infantry compared to, like, let's say, the Terrorgeists for the Vampire guns, because they don't rely on a bonus versus large. Their combat stats are just a little bit better objectively. You can see 38 and 42, but nonetheless, we're going to see these guys swooping in, and, I mean, Sigvald's going to be almost impossible to snipe. He's very, very tough to snipe out. Granted, Luther Harken can easily probably beat him one-on-one. So the breath attack is going to be going down right here on Prince Sigvald, who's just going to be kind of tanking and spanking. Now, the anti-large troops need to get over here. You can see the Summoners of Rage have decided to kind of blitz out here. Marauder Horsemasters are going to be occupying them. So at the very least, these brave Horsemasters are going to be taking some damage here, and we'll see how it goes. So the Summoners of Rage just getting in there. Yeah, they need to get close. They need to get in there because those Crabs plus the Terrorgeists over here are actually going after Sigvald. And it looks like Sigvald's tanking the damage pretty well. Terrorgeists are in very, very good shape, though. Chariots are going to be rear charging, which is going to break the leadership of a lot of the Vampire Coast chaff here. So, I mean, as far as chaff go, the halberds are crumbling off. I mean, there's not going to be any chaff left. It's really just going to be the monsters for the Vampire Coast. It's going to be Lamprey's Revenge, who are in perfect shape. Oh no, but Dad's here. Big business coming in hot, and you can see here that the Summoners of Rage are going to be coming in with their fat hammers, going to be dropping some of that sweet thunder right here on the Lamprey's Revenge. And here it comes. This is going to be a lot of damage when these guys get in there. Pretty much a hard counter against not only Terror Guys, but also these type of units. So the Lamprey's Revenge is going to be getting clubbed pretty good. And let's go ahead and see the damage henceforth. So the damage is going to start adding up as they do kind of lay the pounding in. But a very good breath attack here by Odium Viosh. He's able to kind of breathe on those guys. Plus the deck droppers are also shooting them in the back. So the Summoners of Rage, I think, do have base missile resist of like, it's not terrible. I think it's like 15 or 20% or something. It's like 50%. So that is going to be helpful. He is going to be cycle charging back in to refresh that charge bonus. But the Terror Guys are kind of just running rampant a little bit. But look at this. The caster is actually going down. So the Vampire Fleet Captain is getting beaten down by the Slaanesh Chosen, the Mirror Guard right here, and all these other infantry. So, I mean, the Vampire Coast, even though they have a lot of powerful monsters, the Lamprey's Revenge are going down very, very quick. The Summoners of Rage are doing a great job. The Vampire Caster is going down. Luther Harken up in the skies is, of course, shooting. But the bounce power, you guys will notice, once these guys run out of ammo, ammo is actually a substantial factor when it comes to the bounce of power. So once they do run out of ammo, the bounce power is probably going to go back in the favor of Chaos, who's been a little bit of a pickle this entire game. So Chaos is fighting down here in the pits. Russia is going to be going after the Lamprey's Revenge. And remember, guys, the winner of this game is actually going to be advancing to the finals because the second replay was corrupted, unfortunately, but it was a 2-0 series. So this is like for all the marbles here. The Summoners of Rage are going to be clubbing the Lamprey's Revenge, and man, this is just such a fierce one. The Terror Guys is still alive, Luther's still alive, so man, it is just going to be a close game either way. But look at this, Lamprey's Revenge are going down. Summoners of Rage have 2,000 HP, which is a lot. These guys are out of ammo. Look at this, one set of ammo here on the deck choppers. These guys, 3 volleys actually, but that's not going to be enough. The Summoners of Rage are going to be able to endure that. And Luther Harken looks to be going after the Summoners, which is a good choice. If both Terror Guys focus them down and get rid of the anti-large threats, I think that's going to be super important. So now Chaos is going to be piling in. You can see the Mirror Guard and company are going to be going. The Vampire Fleet Captain is gone. He's going to be gone in a second. Slaanesh's boy here is going to be shield bashing him, just straight up Leonidas style from 300. And there he goes. So that caster is gone. The Terror Guys are now fully surrounded. I mean, Chaos, deck droppers are swooping in. Everybody has to get their hands dirty now. Everyone has to fight. So it's going to be a grindy fight, but Chaos has a lot of bodies. Plus the Slaanesh's Harvesters, not Slaanesh's Harvesters, the Mirror Guard. I mean, I guess they are like Slaanesh's Harvesters technically. The Mirror Guard are actually immune to psychology, so they're not going to be terror-routed here by the Terror Guys, which means they're going to fight, they're going to anchor. Sigvald is also going to be pretty pertinent here. I mean, he's probably at full health. Where's the Prince? Yeah, Prince Sigvald did heal up to full health. He does heal himself with his auric armor. So, man. Yeah, the Summoners of Rage, though, they have a lot of buffering. And you can see the deck droppers are having to fight here because, obviously, if he's not fighting on the ground, he's going to be taking leadership penalties on his units. So he has to fight with something. So perpetually, ODM Viosh is going to be losing something nonstop. Oh, but a nice breath attack. This is going to be so good against Bunched Up Chaos, and that does some really good damage there. Able to kind of chew up the Chariots and the Summoners of Rage. But the deck droppers with handguns are going to be getting crumbed here a little bit. So we'll do some fast forwarding as they kind of just grind this one out. Terror Guys are going to be jumping back in here and going after the Summoners of Rage and the Chariots. Man, this is just fierce. This is a fierce one. The bounce power is really even. And a mass terror route coming down. Look at this. Chaos Chariots get terrified. The Summoners of Rage, that doesn't make sense, but they get terrified. Chaos Warriors. So the terror route is going down here. Vampire Coast might be able to get it back here. But Sigvald is immune to psych, plus his elite guard here are immune to psych as well. So that's going to be really nice for kind of anchoring this battle. And look at this. Very good play by Viosh. Using these guys to chase these units off. But oh no, the Summoners of Rage do come back. Summoners of Rage are just going to crump these bats right now. The bats are large entities, and the Summoners of Rage are just going to, it's like going to be like whack-a-mole. So these deck droppers, I mean, a pretty big mismatch, right? You have like a haggard zombie being dragged by a bat fighting against these like ancient, like just destroying machines. But they're going to be going back into the main fight, which I think is a good choice here. Balance of power is just in the middle. I mean, it's pretty even. Oh no, but the Summoners, if they can pin that guy in, man, they almost had him there. And the deck droppers, so that's it. Deck droppers are all gone. It looks like, no, they're not all gone. They're on the edge of the map. Okay, I thought they like might have crumbled off here, but he has to land on the ground or else he's going to be taking a penalty to his units here. And you can see he's going to be charging in with these guys. Oh, man, I don't know if Luther Harken's going to be able to pull this out. Sigvald's getting some really good attacks here. He's getting in there. The Mirror Guard are holding as well. Summoners of Rage do break again, but there's just so many Chaos Warriors. Luther Harken does have a bit of ammo, so if he wanted to, he could sit in the skies and just shoot at Sigvald. But Sigvald does have a silver shield, so he's going to be super good there. Plus, fighting in the forest is going to be penalizing these guys because they are large. So, I mean, I don't know, but, you know, he has to land, so Chaos can determine where the fight happens. Because, again, the rules would dictate that Luther Harken and company would have to fight because they're flying, so they have to, like, attack Chaos wherever Chaos wants. So that's the advantage of having a character like Sigvald in this defensive force here. Breath attack doing some decent damage against the Chaos forces, and it looks like the Terror Guys is going to be pulling back up. Summoners of Rage coming back in, but it looks like they're going to be shattering off the battlefield, and this is it. This is the final battle for Middle-earth here. Sigvald and his troops are going to be holding. Standard Die has been popped. And this is the deciding factor. The Summoners of Rage are basically, yeah, they're gone right now. They were broken so many times. But I just don't think Luther is going to be able to kill Sigvald here. Sigvald is just anchoring this fight. And plus he has all these supporting troops like these warriors. And over here you can see the Death Streak Terrorgeist is actually going down against like infantry, which is something you don't see terribly often, but just sheer attrition here is going to be the name of the game as these forces just grind this one out. Sigvald is able to clean up most of these deck droppers who are all crumbling. So with those guys being gone here, it's I mean, look at Siggy. He's at his healing cap, so he's certainly gotten a lot of value this game. Luther Harken is going to be trying to fight here. The deck droppers are pretty much dead to the last, so it's just going to be the 2 Terrorgeists versus the world. I mean, Chaos doesn't have the best troop quality, but the Mirror Guard, they still have 34 models. Sigvald's in good shape. He's like pretty much full health, so he's been able to just really just do a number on these Terrorgeists because they have to fight him in accordance with the rules of our tournament. And man, what a battle here between these 2 players. And I think that's going to be it. I just don't think the Vampire Costa is going to be able to get back in this game here as Sigvald and company are able to just methodically grind those guys down. And Warezha is going to be advancing to the finals. So well played there. So Warezha did win the second game as well in a 2-0 series. But again, the second replay was corrupted for some godforsaken reason. So that's going to be the case here. So yes, what a game. Well played. That was something. So Sigvald doing work. And you got to give Warezha props. What a hero of the people. Bringing Sigvald in a competitive environment, making him work, playing well with him. Solid stuff. And that was a stressful game. Like having that initial Air Force come and pick off a lot of your stuff, that is I've been in that position. It is definitely a little bit scary. So Warezha is going to be winning that series, and that is going to be the 2-0 because he did win the other game as well. And he's going to be advancing to the finals. So let us go to the bracket to face off against Carp. Now the finals are best of 5, of course. So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of action going on there. Sigvald and the Mirror Guard, yeah, they carried it for sure. Yeah, Jake Wu, drop that fire, brother. That was a game. That was a good game. That was a really good one. So we have a donation from Esben for 100 DKK, which I believe is like $30. So man, thank you so much for the donation. You guys are being super generous, but I know there's been a bit of a dry spell as it pertains to the Eternal Challenger League. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. That is really, really generous. Yeah. Does this heretic think the computer game nerds are going to fall for spam? That's pretty funny. Was there like a spam bot coming in here? Did I miss something, Falcon? Let me double check. I'll open up the Discord. Who would win, this stream or your urgent need to study? Dude, it's this stream. Come on. What kind of a question is that? Yeah, Falcon. So for some reason, the second replay when I watch it on my end, I don't know what it is. It's super laggy and choppy. So unfortunately, I don't know if it has to do with the map or anything. I know. If I watch it, I'll show you guys. We can look at the replay. You guys want to see? So I'll show you the replay. It's super laggy and like messed up, but we can watch through it. So would you guys here answer this as one in chat? Would you guys rather watch a very laggy replay that I can just fast forward through just so I can show you the basics of the game, or would you rather just skip to the finals and do the best of 5? I'll stand by for a second here in chat. They timed out Professor Pone's girlfriend. Jesus, what the hell's going on here in this chat? Yes. Oh, okay. Some Slanesh bot coming into chat. Well, let me know what you guys want. You guys want to see the replay laggy or... What the hell is this? Oh my god. Just with this madness in chat. Why? Well, you know what I think it is because there's not a ton of streams on YouTube Gaming. There's not a ton of them, right? So like my stream is actually probably in like the top 15 or 20 as far as YouTube streams go. So like I think they just like troll through those and just find you. Show it. Oh man, it's too mixed. It'll be really quick. We'll just fast forward through the game. So let's go ahead and go to the second one. One sec, guys. Yeah, we'll try it. I'll show you guys what I mean. It's like I don't know why, and it always happens on Sword of Torgvald. If I'm watching a replay, if it's live, it doesn't give me that problem. The Slanesh bots are relentless today. Yes. All right, so let's get this going. Sword of Torgvald, one of my favorite maps, actually. You now know what you must do. Show. Yeah, it seems like most of you guys want to see it. It won't take long, guys, for anyone who wants to rush to the finals. But again, we'll jump into it here. I mean, maybe it'll magically work. Who the hell knows? So let us go ahead here and switch to the battle scorecard. So this was actually the second game here. So we could update this for the sake of fluff. So if you watch the replay, you'll notice, like, look how choppy it is. It's like, did I switch back to the, yeah, I did. It's like, it's huge graphic lag, and it's like, it like jumps and stops and jumps and stops. Yeah, it's really unpleasant. But anyways, we'll just do like a big overhead view so it's not so bad. So the High Elf army is spears in the front, Lothran Seaguard archers in the back, Pyramid Company in the back. So it's very much like an archer-centric army, which is very normal against Vampire Coast. And over here for Vampire Coast, it's going to be a frontline deckhand mobs. We do have a Vampire Caster, and Warejja is playing the Vampire Coast. He's got guns in the back, but a heavy cannon line. He has like carronades. He has mortars in the back. Mortars are like a staple against High Elves. Incredibly good against archers. And for the leadership, he does have Luther Harken up in the skies. You guys see the lag? I don't know. Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. I mean, this game isn't even that memey. I don't know what he was referring to, but yeah, Reavers on the far side as well. But it's very, very laggy. So we'll do like a fast kind of like sped up, because I think when it's fast, it's not as bad. So the mortars are dropping some heavy fire here onto the spearmen, getting some decent damage. Luther Harken up in the skies is just going to be kind of perusing for a target. Now Tyrion is the lord choice. Oh man, Tyrion getting pounded by cannons, brutal stuff. And you can see that Luther Harken is going to be dropping some pistol fire. So an amazing start here for the Vampire Coast. And he does very much have a layer, so you just fall back with the archers, wear down Lothran Seaguard. I'm surprised he has like no dogs or anything. Yeah, it's very, very laggy. This replay was just like an atrocity for some reason. And it's corrupted, yeah. But the Vampire Coast is obviously out to a pretty good start here. You can see Tyrion is just getting his salad tossed so freaking bad. Luther Harken has been gunning him, plus the double carronades were able to just pop him in the face and get like perfect contact. Now the Shadow Warriors and the pressure on the forest is going to be significant. It looks like the High Elves and Vyash do have Reavers and all kinds of stuff that could potentially shut down the cannons. And it looks like some of the Zombie Pirate deckhand mobs, there's nothing actually protecting this carronade back here. So this could be a little bit trouble. And there are some gun shooting in from the deckhand mobs as well. So Luther Harken, oh, he is able to break Tyrion. And you see, that's kind of like a huge, huge issue. Because now Luther can just like fly near him and chase him off the battlefield, which means the High Elves are basically going to be leaderless, right? So over here, you do have the deckhand mobs, which are going to be protecting the cannons and these other troops here. And yeah, the halberds are going to be surging forward to kind of screen out these Reavers. So the Reavers trying to get into the back line a little bit, but the halberds should easily be able to fend them off. The Heaven spell does get some okay contact on the guns, but it does miss for the most part. And Luther Harken, is he going to get Tyrion? No, Tyrion actually comes back. Now he's almost at his healing cap. Yeah, this replay clicked that link from the Slanesh bot. 100% accurate, my dudes. So the front line of the Vampire Coast is fighting, but the High Elves are actually kind of rallying back in this game, despite the initial hard start. The archers are really shooting down the deckhand mobs and those other troops, but Warejja is doing a very good job protecting his back line using the polearms and these other guys. Granted, carronade's gone, mortar's gone. Actually, maybe not as good of a job as I thought. He does still have this mortar over here, but if he actually has these carronades and other troops crumble, it is going to be a little bit of a tough situation. Now, over here, Luther Harken is going to be just kind of strafing and absorbing all that cannon fire. The mortars are going to continue to go into the archers here. Tyrion is actually on foot. So that, oh man, he like saw what happened last game. He's like, let me bring a Footlord and see if I can make it work as well. So Tyrion is going to be getting Last Samurai so freaking hard. All these handgun mobs are just going to be popping him in the face. He's going to be charging in here and... yeah, he's going to try, but man, this is not going well for Tyrion. He's getting gunned down. His Vampire Caster is just going to be kiting him. A nice little wind blast right there is able to hit the carronade, but the guns on the far side are just doing such a good job fending off Reavers, and Reavers are not shielded units. So one mortar is offline. This carronade may stabilize. It's at 3 leadership, and if it stabilizes, that's going to be incredibly good. I do not know what Luther Harken is doing, though. Luther Harken in the distance is just, I don't know what he's doing. He's just like flying back and forth, just getting a little bit crazy over here. Tyrion actually takes this fight here against some of the guns. But yeah, the halberds are honestly probably going to be able to finish Tyrion off just by poking him to death. And some of the Reavers are able to kind of slip in and jump on top of that carronade right there, or the mortar, but the halberds are standing right on top of it, so they're not going to get too much value. But the High Elves have a lot of stuff pushing in. I mean, their army is in better shape than the Vampire Coast for sure, but Luther is kind of going to be the bigger issue. The archers in the back are shooting happily. They're just wearing down these guns. Yeah, this is a replay. No, Christian, this is a replay of game 2. It was just really laggy, so I'm just showing it to everyone. Yeah. No, we still have the finals to go in. It is not over, trust me. All right, so the halberds are going to be fighting here. Tyrion is he's in open field again, which is not good because all these guns are just going to be opening up on him. And Tyrion does not have a shield. He's a little bit too fancy for a shield, even though he's using a one-handed sword. Like, why would one of the greatest martial fighters? I mean, I guess maybe he's like, oh, I get better balance without it or something. I don't know. But Tyrion's going to be jumping into that fight right there. Halberds are going to be working. Luther Harken is just cackling in the distance. I do not know what he is doing. And Luther actually has a pretty good. He has a pretty good cackle as well. Yeah, one of his many personalities probably took over and he's just doing his thing here. So we'll fast forward. It's really laggy replay. Archers are going to keep shooting in the back. The Shadow Warriors pressuring the flank as well. But yeah, the Vampire Coast looks like they're actually running out of a lot of stuff here. I mean, they're just kind of bare bones. But what the hell is Luther Harken doing back there? What madness is this? What treason? But Tyrion is pretty much dead. So Tyrion at this point has 308 HP. Luther Harken, he might just be waiting for the archers to run out of ammunition here. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, good job, guys, at dealing with those freaking those spam bots there. And you can see here that the zombie powered deckhand mobs are going to be fighting here. Now, as far as the Vampire Coast army goes, they like have almost nothing left. There's some halberds in the back. There's a vampire fleet captain, floor of vampires. Tyrion is pretty much a non-factor at this point, having only 308 HP. And oh, looks like there's some Vampire Coast in the forest, and the deckhand mobs with polearms who are actually chasing down the Shadow Warriors, which is pretty hilarious. But it looks like a game that the High Elves are going to most certainly win, right? But you also have to take into account that the High Elves are almost out of ammunition. And even though, you know, Luther's unfortunate, cowardly, craven personality took hold and he just kind of hid the entire battle, I think at the very end, perhaps his aggressive, murderous one will take account here. So the Vampire Fleet Captain's still alive. The archers are shooting at Luther, but it looks like Reja is just kind of dodging that fire, which is, you know, seems to be working okay. Lothar and Seaguard just still shooting in, but they're going to be running out of ammo. And as far as Lothar and Seaguard, he does have 2 groups left. And if the Vampire Fleet Captain has some summons to kind of buffer the ground, that could help. In the forest as well, we do have the zombies just chasing the Shadow Warriors, which is most certainly a Benny Hill theme. And yeah, we can see that Luther Harken is going to be going here. Is he going to fight? Is he going to dive? Can't tell. Looks like the Heavens Caster is still alive as well. Luther could easily go snipe this guy. Honestly, I'd probably do that. If I were Luther, I would just go after that caster. He's going to be shooting with the pistols. Archers have a little bit of ammo left. Man, this was a ridiculous game, to say the least. This is a ridiculous game. So, I don't know if the High Elves are going to be able to pull it out. He does get hornswoggled right there. Luther is, he's in good shape, though. He's going to be able to kill Tyrion plus his mage. I think he should just... He's already dodging the shots anyways. He's just juking. Reja is just literally juking. And he's, of course, following the rules because his zombies are chasing down the Shadow Warriors to the best of their abilities. So he is engaging. And also his guns are fighting, so he's following the rules on all fronts. Luther Harken going to be sitting... Oh, and he no-scopes Tyrion! So Luther Harken gets his huge blunderbuss and no-scopes Tyrion right there, which is pretty heavy metal. And the bounce power with that actually looks to go... Yeah, it's a pretty heavy shift right there for sure. So the Vampire Fleet Captain's going to be coming to fight now. Luther Harken is going to be going after that caster. But now the archers are pretty much just out of ammo. And they're still like a full health group of deckhand mobs. But, oh man, the Shadow Warriors beat those guys like a drum. And the Vampire Caster, thankfully for its sake, does have the summons down here. So there's going to be a summon of zombie powered deckhand mobs, which is going to break those archers. And that's going to be army losses. So what a weird game that was. What a weird game. And again, guys, the reason why, for anyone just joining, we fast forwarded through that game is because the file was like corrupted and it was super laggy. So we were just kind of getting through that quick because it would have been unpleasant to cast the entire game that way. So Reja is going to win that 2-0. Luther Harken with the no scope on Tyrion, just coming in there. Just, oh, I could talk on like double that speed. I got that. Yeah, Tyrion got shot by the pistol. He got freaking blunderbussed in the face. Yeah, he got blunderbussed, dudes. All right. Rando Howard, thank you for the 10 donation, man. No, we can't go back. We got to push on. It's true. I'll push on to Moscow. Oh my god. So Raw Cauliflower says, is your Death Guard army complete? Basically, yes. Have you considered any other Codaxes, maybe a Catachan theme? No, I'm going to stay within Chaos because I don't want to spend a ton of money. So I play Chaos, and if I'm feeling more casual, I'll mix in like some Chaos Space Marines. But I play Death Guard, Thousand Suns usually. But yeah, I mix in Chaos Space Marines occasionally for Obliterators and some other fun units like that. So that is the drill. Yeah, that's why Luther was spending to get the 360. Yes, 100% accurate. So guys, with that, like we said before, Reja is going to be moving on to the finals to face Carp in a best of 5. So we'll see you guys in the finals in just a second. We're going to load straight into it. And let me go ahead and just... I'm going to do some stretches for a second, guys. Oh, I am the heir of an Aryan. And he just gets shot in the face by a haggard vampire pirate. It's classic. Hey, Gret. The only thing you missed is you missed the 2 initial rounds. We're in the finals right now. So we have the finals. It's a best of 5 between Carp and Reja, which is going to be good. So I'm going to be doing some streams, actually, of Warhammer Chaos Bane soon as well. Obliterators are a good unit in 40k, but they're very swingy. So if you roll badly on their weapon profiles with Obliterators, you're just going to be like, oh, God, these things suck, you know? We are in the finals, yes. Whose mustache is better, Turin or Gus? My mustache is pretty... It's not even a mustache right now. It's just like a little bit of fuzz. The High Elves went home to watch that Call of Duty Luther Harken montage. I would... As far as doing a bat rep with Spartacus, I'd love to, but he's just so busy. I mean, I ask him all the time, but he's just usually... I don't know, not interested or available, unfortunately. Oh... Yeah, Necromunda is fun. Necromund is fun. All right, guys. I think we're ready. I did some hand stretches. All is well. Obliterate, trust me, Tywin Lannister. Well, Tywin would know, of course, being the master tactician of Westeros. Obliterators are a hit. I actually played in a major tournament, a GT, this last weekend for 40K, which is like a heavy-duty tournament. The number one Death Guard player in the United States was there. There were several pro players, and I went 2-1. I won 2 games, lost 1. And I used an obliterator list. So basically I ran like a massive screen of Poxwalkers, and the obliterators I ran in their specialist detachment. But anyways, I shouldn't ramble about that. We should focus on Warhammer, but they're okay. They're like a hit and miss unit. They're not like super competitive because their range is short, and a lot of good players will just range them and shoot them to pieces. So yeah, I don't know about Chaos Knights. Yeah. I'm going to try it, Cauliflower. I actually like Chaos Bane a lot. It's a really fun game. So Lady Turin and I are going to do some streams together. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Let us jump into game 1 of the finals. And here we go. So I believe this is the first one. Yes, 2, 3, and 4. So in game 1, it's going to be Carp playing the forces of the Skaven, led by a master warlock, or a warlock master, and he's going to be facing off against Warezha. He's going to be playing, yet again, Vampire Coast, so clearly he's a Luther Harken man. We're going to see how this goes. Cześć, Mr. Herman from Poland. Jak się masz? Anna would be proud if she could hear that. How would you feel about a Game of Thrones style Warhammer series? I would be rock hard. Oh, we have about another hour of the tournament. Yeah, there's a significant amount of pro players in the Warhammer community. Now, there's not a ton of money, but you know, they're still like, they still, you know, do win prizes and stuff, so they qualify as professionals, right? All right, so let's go ahead and upgrade this. So it's going to be Carp is going to be on that side, I believe. So I just need to change this so it matches the balance of power for you guys. Otherwise, it's going to look nice and ugly. So Carp coming in with the Madman builds today, guys. You're gonna like it, trust me. And this will be. So we are now in the finals, and this is going to be a best of 5. A Master Warlock Master, yes, Woody. Yeah, it's going to be good. All right, so here we are in the finals. It's going to be the Skaven, led by Carp, facing off against the Vampire Coast, who's going to be led by Warezha. So for the Skaven, let's go ahead and take a look at the army. Here in the front line, Skaven Slaves with Spears, a glorious Skaven front line. What else is better than Skaven Slaves? Just taking a beating for the Horned Rat. And he does also have the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters, a great pick here. They're going to be able to poke Luther, snipe the cannons, because again, you can't see them unless you're close. So I like that quite a bit. Now, this is a really risky pick. Typically, when I play Skaven against Vampire Ghost, I do not recommend bringing big artillery pieces because they get killed by carronades so easily. So if somebody brings like carronades, like 2 of them, they can kill your Zap Cannon and your Play Claw Catapult, and you're just going to be crying in the corner. On top of that, yes, Skaven Slave Slingers. Slingers are very good here. They have okay range, and they can kind of pepper down the light armor of the Vampire Coast. We got Rat Ogres in the back line. In case he goes with Depth Guard or Crabs or any sort of build like that, you need a little bit of mass. We do also have an Assassin, and it looks like Carp Daddy's going to be coming with the Warlock Master, who does have the Howling Warp Gale and Scorch. Going to be dropping some sick memes for sure. So that is pretty much it there. He does have the artillery and also some gutter runners with poison who are going to be positioned out on the flanks, one in the forest and one on the other side as well. Now for the armies of Warezha, he's going to be coming in again with Luther Harken. Luther is a very competitive lord and arguably a little bit better than Noctilus with the nerf to summons. In the front line here, you can see zombie powered deckhand mobs across the entire front line, guns in the secondary line, a Vampire Caster, and it looks like these are all going to be handguns, which I think are necessary. Pistols are okay, but the handguns can actually reach Rattling Gunners and some of those bigger value targets, so I think the handguns are a better choice, and yeah, I like his pick. He's got halberds in the back and triple carronade, quad carronade, quad kill. So that is going to be really, really tough here. I don't know if the Skaven artillery is going to be able to hold up. Now the battle's underway. Warp Lightning Cannons are going to be trying to shoot Luther, and the Plague Claw Catapults are just shooting into the infantry, which is to be expected. But the quad carronades are going to be coming in and doing so much damage. Those Skaven artillery pieces are going to be squealing and running back to the hills. It is not going to be a good situation at all. So this is good here. I mean, you have the quad carronade, you invested in it, so just sit back here and shoot the Skaven to pieces. Natty Bubo Sharpshooters are getting a little bit kind of risky here in open field, but Carp is going to be pulling those guys back right now. And yeah, he needs to be pulled back and make sure. Sorry about that, I was just drinking some water, guys. But yeah, Natty Bubo Sharpshooters, what are they going to start shooting? It looks like they're getting in position to shoot. Are they going to be going after Luther? But Warezha has really good kind of strafing. It looks like he's been dodging pretty effectively, but the Sharpshooters are going to be trying to snipe out the carronades, which is a good choice. But in the meantime, the Warp Lightning Cannons and company... Wait, did those things just like juke? Oh no, he had a third Warp Lightning Cannon. So the Iked Zap Cannon, oh man, this is just going to be a big old artillery duel. I did not see the third one, but anyways, this Carronade is taking a lot of damage, but Luther Harken is not going to have that shit. He's going to fly forward, he's going to Hornswoggle those rats, and he's going to 360 no-scope, just Call of Duty montage, and yeah, definitely give him the business. So here comes the Luther, just flying overhead, just shooting those rats, but I mean, there needs to be some pressure on Luther Harken here. The Slingers can pepper him, the Howling Warp Gale will be very, very good, and then shooting him with all the other tools. Like right now, just shoot Luther with everything, and you're going to be in pretty good shape. So Luther gets a little bit, his hubris, maybe his downfall here, as the Jezzail switched shots, and now they're shooting him point blank. He's taking all these pebbles, and he's going to be locked in for another, 3 or 4 seconds. So this is going to be a lot of damage. He's taking artillery fire. Luther Harken is certainly not happy about the situation. With that, the Vampire Coast army does actually advance, so they're not going to be trying to run up to screen for Luther, because Luther is going to be getting pounded pretty bad right here. Very good Warp Gale coming in from the Warlock Master. And it looks like Luther might be using a breath attack right here onto the sharpshooters, and it looks like he does kill a couple models. Nothing to write home about, but he does take out 5 models there. So Luther's also going to be jumping in. The Assassin could come over and trophy heads him, which I think would be pretty good. And yeah, just try and pin him in and trophy head him would be good. Now, some of the Skaven Slaves and Rat Ogres are going to be punching through. Now, the cannons are very fixed on some of the other targets, it looks like. No, they're actually shooting at Rat Ogres. But the Rat Ogres will pound town these deckhand mobs rather quickly, but Luther Harken being caught like this in game 1. Oh man, that is tough, and the Assassin, of course, is a very good duelist, especially if Trophy Heads is popped. Luther's stats are 18 and 15 respectively, so the Assassin is going to have the advantage here. And Luther's in trouble, but look at this. The Iked Zap Cannon in the back has 1 piece left. The Carronades of the Vampire Coast are doing so much work. Oh no, Luther Harken might be going down here. He's very, very low. 1400 HP, Rat Ogre's getting in here, and the rat needs to get him. They need to finish off Luther. If Luther is able to somehow survive this, that is going to be a disaster for the Skaven. So Luther is able to pull back here, 772 HP. Is he going to get back up in the skies? And somehow Luther Harken gets back up. The pebbles are just going everywhere. But look at this, the Rat Ogre's also pushed into the back line. So suddenly the Skaven, when they're in a very tough initial situation, have been able to kind of, make, I guess they were given lemons, and they're making lemonade, as they say. And Luther Harken here is going to get slapped with an invocation, 700 HP. Luther Harken might be able to get away. He might be able to escape this, which is going to be crazy. Oh man, Luther Harken looks like he's going to be able to get away. That is brutal for the Skaven. Now he can start strafing again. He's not close to his healing cap, so I mean, relatively speaking, so there's going to be a lot of invocations, and all 4 of the artillery pieces are online for the Vampire Coast. Now the Skaven are winning the fights elsewhere. A lot of the deckhand mobs are getting crumped, although these ones have pushed pretty far into the back line here. This Warlock Master probably needs to get in there and help deal with those guys, and he does have Howling Warp Gale, but it must have been on cooldown. So the Rat Ogres right here are getting finished off with the guns and some of the summons from the Vampire Fleet Captain. These Rat Ogres here are finishing off the guns as well, so the Skaven are still in a good situation. If they can get any contact on Luther Harken and kind of slow him down a little bit, oh man, what a fight. And the Skaven Slingers are going to be throwing in. Rat Ogres are just kind of securing the back line. The Iked Zap Cannon still has 1 piece, the Plague Claw Catapult and the other Zap Cannon, so it's going to be 3 and 2 respectively. So somehow the Skaven Artillery is still functional. I have no idea how that's possible against 4 Carronades. However, I think the Carronades have actually switched and started shooting at the Rat Ogres to try and get rid of some of the punch in this army, but it's hard to tell. So Skaven Slave Slinger is going to be thrown down. It is just an even fight between these 2 players. Luther Harken, though, the problem is that he's becoming this, he's now becoming a factor again. He's healing up. He has 2100 HP. Invocations, I'm sure, are still in good shape. Natty Booba Sharpshooters, all 5 of their models are going to be trying to shoot the Vampire Fleet Captain, but they did have a nerf to their accuracy recently because they were a little bit OP before. And the Vampire Fleet Captain is able to drop the moves like Jagger and dodge most of the shots. And you can see here the Rat Ogres are going to be getting hornswoggled and beaten down by a horde of angry zombies. Now we still have the Assassin, we have the Warlock Master. The Warlock Master is an anti-large armor-piercing character with 90 armor, so he's not a pushover of a duelist. If he were to fight Luther Harken at this point, he might have a chance of kind of poking him down a little bit. So there is that to kind of take into account here. Rat Ogres on the far side are going to be slamming into the flank and beating down the last of the pressure now. So now the Skaven have relieved pretty much all the pressure on their back line. Their artillery is going to be free to fire. The Slingers are going to be free to throw their pebbles, but the Vampire Coast still has a nasty cannon line. Carronades here, and it looks like the Sharpshooters were able to finish off some of the Carronades, but there's still pretty much 3.25 Carronades left, right? Or 3.3. You guys get the picture. So the Carronades are going to be a huge issue. I mean, they're going to be able to shoot in and finish off a lot of stuff. They have ample ammunition. They're in good shape. I don't think there's a gunnery wipe back here giving them ammo. That would have been actually pretty funny. And it looks like the Vampire Fleet Captain is going to be dropping an invocation on herself, which is interesting. I'm not sure why she wouldn't heal up Luther Harken, who's obviously going to be the real breadwinner. And the Skaven do have a bit of an inexorable advance here. The Skaven Slaves are going to be pushing in and throwing some of those dank pebbles here on top of some of these troops. Rat Ogres as well. Oh man, just getting shot in the face as they try and charge in here. But it looks like Carp is going to be pulling the Rat Ogres back, not wanting to get caught in a bad situation. So yeah, the Rat Ogre boys are going to be fleeing for the hills. And Reja is holding the hill pretty well. He's got this Alamo position over here, and he's just going to be sitting and cannoning things down. Luther Harken is going to be a good sweeper because the Skaven don't really have the tools to pressure Luther right now. But warp lightning shots coming in and not making contact there. And the Skaven, I mean, most of this army, Skaven Slave Slingers, we have an Assassin, we have the Warlock Master, somehow the Skaven Artillery is still online. I have no idea how that's possible. This is just absolute madness. Yeah, Warlock Master is going to be scurrying in the back lines here, looking for the goodies. 350 weapon strength, 40 melee attack, he does do magic damage. Now, there's no physical resist on Luther Harken, so that's not going to be as much of a factor, but the Slingers are just pushing up. But remember, these Skaven Slaves are getting a little bit ambitious. They're like, okay, we've cleaned up the back line, and I don't know. Yeah, they're going to be peppering Luther. I mean, getting a couple HP damage. They're literally going to do like 1 damage to him a pop because of the armor. Ooh, but Luther gets tagged by 2 shots from the Warp Lightning Cannon. A little bit of a lapse in micro there, lets him get caught. We have Gutter Runners with poison, and yes, the Vampire Coast doesn't have anything on this side of the field. No, they have some deckhand mobs back here, so that's going to be the last of the pressure. And it's literally like devolved into an artillery battle. So what a great game between these two players. Extremely even. And Luther Harken just kind of flying up in the skies, just kind of waiting. I mean, I wouldn't advance either. I would just use my cannons and play the siege game. You paid for 4 cannons, you're going to get that value. So Luther dodging one of the shots. It looks like the second one did hit him. The Skaven Slave Slingers are going to be unifying here, and in the back line, it looks like the Rat Ogres are going to be jumping on, and they should be able to, I don't know, by themselves, they'll probably actually break, but with a little bit of support, they could easily finish off these Zombie Card Jetpackers. Yes. Yes. So, Rat Ogres here. We're going to be breaking to that, and this deckhand mob, are they going to be the heroes in the back line? I mean, the Ikid Zap Cannon is actually wavering, and the zombies do cause fear, so if they get a little bit closer, they might actually be able to break this situation. What the hell is fighting over here? Oh, it looks like some of the zombies from this deckhand mob got like detached from their main group. How are they fighting over here? Oh no, there's another one. Okay. So the deckhand mobs are just pressuring, and this might actually be the thing that gives Vampire Coast the game. I did not notice this. Like the glorious deckhand flank, these guys were able to kind of just push around and do some work here. Man, absolute madness. So Warp Lightning Cannon's going to be shooting at Luther, making contact yet again. So he's almost at his healing cap, and we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding as the Skaven do have to clean up their back line. So you can see some of these deckhand mobs and these other ones here are going to be scorched off the earth by the Warlock Master. He's probably pretty good on mana. I would imagine the Warlock Master didn't cast a lot this game, aside from like a Warp Gale or 2 and some Scorches. So the Skaven secure their back lines at the cost of their artillery. So now it's this massive Skaven Slinger core, but it's almost all Skaven Slaves. And oh no, a summon coming down, and the Skaven Slaves are not going to like this. So the Zombie Powered Deckhand Mob summon, beautiful play here by Reja, is going to be summoned, and they're just going to be popping a cap in the Skaven here. So yeah, man. And you can see the Skaven Slaves are all shattering because of the summon there. That was a really, really good play. So the Skaven contraptions and plans are starting to fall apart a little bit as the Vampire Coast is now taking the initiative. And the cannons are also shooting up in the high ground. 3 full health cannons are going to be shooting at assassins or slingers. It doesn't really matter. It's still heavy hitting cannonballs. So yeah, anyways, we'll see. So the shot's going down right here. Skaven Slaves, slingers, having some problems. Oh my god, I just looked at chat and I saw that there's all these like bots in here. What the hell is that? Yeah, so the cannonballs are shooting in, and yeah, they're going to just be hammering everything. I mean, there's still a Plague Claw Catapult and some Rat Ogres back here, but Luther is just such a good character. Just sitting up in the skies, just popping a cap in this assassin's ass right here. He's Power Siphoned, he's Hornswoggled. There are some Gutter Runners who can do a little bit of damage to him, but Luther just popping a cap in that assassin right there. And the Skaven are like forming a Helm's Deep in the corner, but the Bounce Fire is pretty heavily in the favor of the Vampire Coast right now, so I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to be able to come back. The Vampire Coast, like, on top of that, they have, like, a bunch of deckhand mobs in reserve. They have 4 of them. Those 4 deckhand mobs could easily pressure all these. I just don't think there's any chance that the Skaven can come back this game. So Carp looks like he's going to be dropping game 1. Reja is going to be taking game 1. But remember, guys, it is indeed a best of 5. So we're going to see how it goes. My palms are literally so sweaty that they're, like, sliding off the table. Like, as I'm trying to... I mean, I like being sweaty and hot. It's just, like, my body is, like... I'm like a reptile. I run cold, so, like, being, like... basking in the sun is good for me, but man, it's technical difficulties here. So it looks like a Howling Warp Gale is going to be going down right here. It is going to catch Luther. Can the Slingers finish him? Luther Harken's at 1,000 HP. Oh, but look at this. Another summon of the zombie-powered gunnery mobs coming down. And the gunnery mobs are going to be dropping some pistols into these rats, into their backs. Not good stuff. The rat boys know Luther needs to fall. He's got about 700 HP. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Are they going to be the heroes that the Under Empire needs? Probably not. They're taunted. The pistols are chasing them. There's a Vampire Fleet Captain chasing them. They're out of ammo. Luther Harken has 365 HP. God, that must be painful. And the Warp Lightning Cannons in the back have a little bit of ammo. The Ikid Zap has 1 piece left. Is it going to shoot and finish off Luther? He charges down. A bold strategy, Cotton. The Gutter Runners are actually holding surprisingly well. He's got 301 HP. Oh man, this is nuts. This is nuts. 301 on Luther Harken. The Skaven are trying to hold the Warlock Masters here. Now he doesn't. Ikit Claw, I think, is just objectively a better choice because of the Brass Orb. Plus he also has a flamethrower weapon, so on foot he could do a little bit more versus these type of like zombie units. But I don't know. I just don't think the Skaven are going to be able to get their stuff back together here. There's some Rat Ogres in the back, some like beat up sharpshooters. The sharpshooters are trying to shoot Luther Harken out of the skies, and the Skaven Slingers are coming back in. Luther Harken is at 162. He's dodging those shots like just straight up, just Neo in here. And back in the main fight, it looks like the gunnery mobs are going to be breaking, but the Vampire Fleet Captain's going to be pressuring, and like, I don't know if the Skaven can even stop the Vampire Fleet Captain. The Vampire Coast did actually use its cannonballs to focus down the Warlock Master. So all 4 of those cannons were able to kind of focus the Warlock Master for a second. Luther Harken has 3 leadership and 49 HP. Can the Skaven do it? Can the Jezzails open? Oh, and the Pebbles! He's got 8 HP! This is absolute madness. Luther Harken, 8 HP, and he's still not crumbling. Because everything is in the favor of their army very, very heavily. So, oh my god, is he going to live? Luther's just like flying through the sky, and he's like, "Oh, hail the mighty!" And just like running from these guys. Oh my god, what a troll! And with that, the Skaven army is going to break. Luther Harken is going to survive with 8 freaking HP. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. And yes, we are in round 1 of the finals, for anyone in chat asking. Welcome, guys. I see we got some new faces in here for the finals. And for anyone who missed the earlier games, it will be going up. But Warhammer is going to be going up 1-0 here in the finals. He's on a streak today. But Carp with a very close game there. Oh my god, that was nuts. That was a great game. That was a quad cannon build. I mean, Carp, had Warhammer not brought cannons, he would have just had a field day. But the quad cannons were just 150 kills, 83, 48, 79, and they killed the single entities. Beast mode on those cannons. Very cool artillery build. Luther Harken coming in. Man, he's like, "Oh, hail the mighty." He's just like flying and cackling while he's singing that song. Luther did not die. Oh my god, what a game. So that's 1-0, and we're going to be jumping back to the desk here. And again, in the bracket, this is Carp and Warhammer in a best of 5 here in the finals. The winner will be earning a spot on the tablet of Tehenowin. And so far, you can see the previous winners. We have Zyphos, Al Halcone. Felcon, of course, is joining us here in chat and helping to mod. Also now a channel sponsor. And Romulan Dog of the previous weeks. What is dead may never die. No kidding. No kidding. Well, that was quite a game. All right, so we're going to be moving on to the finals here. The next game of the finals. So this is game 2. Carp is going to be playing Beastmen against the Dwarves. So it's going to be Dwarves versus Beastmen. I know a lot of you guys in chat wanted some Dwarves. So Warhammer is going to be the hero that you guys are asking for. He's going to be playing the Dwarves. So he apparently likes gun lines a lot. I think that's something that we're starting to realize about his style of play. So Gretch says, "Hey Turin, I need some inspiration. What would you be your opening if you had a Warhammer themed opening on Tinder?" Oh my god, dude, I have no idea. Jesus. Well, yeah, if you give me your favorite faction, I could probably give you like something that's a little bit better. Yeah, that was really cool. All right, guys. So we're in game 2 now, which is going to be a showdown between the Beastmen and the Dwarves. Carp is down 1 game right now, so he needs to claw his way back here, and we will go back. All right, guys. We return. Game 2. Warhammer is going to be playing the Dwarves. Carp is going to be playing the Beastmen, and man, the memes are most certainly real. All right, so for the forces of Carp, and I'm actually going to pause while I talk about the armies because they're going to fight so damn quick. So here in the front line, you can see the Beastmen, and they're going to be coming in with the Ungor Spears in the front line, which is just going to be bodies to take arrows and axes to the face and blasting charges. But the real bread of the army is going to be the Razorgore herds. Razorgore herds are very good against dwarves. They're cheap, they're AP, they're mobile, they can grind through the front line. And yeah, they're a solid choice. On top of that, he's got Razorgore Chariots. He has a Brave Shaman with Beasts for a Manticore Summon and Flock of Doom. The Butchers of Kalkengard, and he does also have a Beast Lord. So just massive chariot, massive bacon play. Beautiful stuff. I like Carp's army. He's got Harpies as well to chase down the artillery pieces, the missile units, different things like that. So it's looking to be a pretty good and tasty little army for sure. I'm liking it. Now in the back, this is where things get real crazy. Carp actually has a mass Vanguard deployment of Ungor Raiders. Now, I probably would start, oh man, this is tough because the dwarves can kind of just turn around and start shooting them and attacking them with gyrocopters. But I mean, it is, if all 4 of the raiders like shoot the cannon down, like they could probably kill it really quick. So this is just a wild build. Now for the build of Warhammer, here in the front line, he's got miners across the entire front line, Bugman's Rangers. Now the Bugman's Rangers here are going to be pretty significant because, and remember, this wasn't live, so there was no way he possibly could have known the Beastmen were going to be deploying back here, but you can see the Bugman's Rangers. I think he was kind of expecting some sort of Vanguard shenanigans, so the Bugman's Rangers are going to be turning and facing, and they are good in melee, plus they heal themselves. They will beat the brakes off Ungor Raiders. And in the back, we have a Rune Lord on his anvil of a Doom and a cannon. So pretty cool build. I'm very excited to see how this goes. So on that note, guys, let us get this show on the road here. 1 second, guys. I just got to adjust the setting here real quick. And, okay, good. And let's go. Let's do it to it. So, no, not slow motion. We're going regular speed. So the Beastmen immediately are going to be just going for the cannon. You can see this. That Carp is going to be getting all of his archers, but the Bugman's Rangers are going to turn around and start blasting him. But if all 4 of these raiders can shut down the cannon, that is going to effectively help get rid of one of the answers against the chariots. So, but look at this. Very, very good play here by Gojira. He uses the Rune Lord to get the Master Rune of Negation, lowering the armor they're going to be taking by almost half. So that's really good. That cannon, that would have been like almost double that damage. And the gyrocopters of the dwarves are going to be surging in and just crumping all over these guys. So the gyrocopters getting in there with their blades and just doing a ton of work. So the beast herd in the back, it was a bold strategy, Cotton, but it did not work out too well. The cannon is still taking a little bit of fire, but Bugman's Rangers are a great like anti-light archer unit. They hit very hard. They have 25 missile damage, and you can see the Ungorged Raiders are being taken apart by these proud Dowie. So he almost got the cannon down. He killed a lot of the crew, but it's not going to be enough. So the dwarf gyrocopters in the back are able to hold, but now this is where things get hard. Now the beastmen normally have a very good matchup against the dwarves, but despite having lost about 1,200, 1,600 gold in the back line, we're going to see. Now some of them will rally and come back, but the bacon in the front line is going to be disastrous because all he has is miners, so I don't know if he's going to be able to protect his back line as the gore herds are able to get in here. So we're suddenly in a bit of a different situation. The Butchers of Kalkengard charging in. They do have the Horn of the First Beast. Chariots are getting into the back line. So, oh man, this Dwarven front line is very, very fickle here. It's going to have some problems holding. The Razorgore Chariots getting into the Bugman's Rangers with some Harpies. So suddenly the back line of the Dwarves is looking a little bit tenuous back here. The Bugman's Rangers can fight back Harpies actually rather effectively, but the Gyrocopters are coming back in. And these 2 raiders are also back, so the Beastmen are definitely tenacious here. But the Bacon Herd is just going to be pushing through. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop the onslaught of piggies. It's just so much pressure from everywhere. And you also have to think that the Ungors in the back line did force him to allocate Gyrocopters back there instead of pressuring the front. So there is kind of a case to be made. Now he does also have a Thane. He has the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, Dragonback Slayers. They are going to have the fight of their life here. This is a lot of beastmen to deal with, especially the Minotaurs. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. Looks like the dwarfs are just going to kind of get run over here. It's just, it was quite an ambush. Now, the Manticore summon in the back is going to be taken care of by the Slayers, but at the very least, the Manticore is occupying the Slayers, and so they're not going to be helping here against Minotaurs and the Baconators. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are quite a powerful troop, but they're not going to be able to beat Minotaurs and Razorgore herds. Like, that's not a good situation. There's a Thane here as well, but look how quick they're being run over by the Beastmen herd. Bugman's Rangers on the flanks are actually able to hold and win their respective fights, so they beat the Harpies up here. Now there's going to be some Dwarven Overwatch fire coming in, and some over here, but it looks like the Chariot is able to polish those guys off. And there's also some miners in reserve. Now, one thing that could be good for the dwarves here is if the gyrocopters fly over this big Zerg and start dropping some bombs, maybe that could do some work. Slayers in the back are having to fight Ungor Raiders, which isn't a good situation for them. I mean, yeah, they'll kill them, but it's wasting a lot of the time. He needs those Slayers here. They need to be fighting the Butchers and the Pigs, because now he's going to be losing a cannon, plus the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and just all kinds of pressure is going to be coming in. So Carp is going to be just running this game over in game 2 here. But again, the Beastmen versus Dwarves, it's a hard matchup. Against Beastmen, you have to play a little bit differently, in my opinion. You have to use like a bunch of guns and just have a very staggered formation. You have to play it like you're playing against Chaos and you're dealing with a bunch of Chariots. But it's even harder because they have Chariots and Razorgore herds, in my opinion. So the Bugman's Rangers going to be fighting to the bitter end here. Slayers, of course, fighting shoulder to shoulder with the Runesmith. There's also a Thane that's still fighting, so that's going to be good. And it looks like these Ungor's Raiders in the back are offline, and there are some Rangers back online, so the Dwarves at least have some fire support to kind of shoot in against the Harpies. And Razorgore herds only have like 45 armor, so they are a little bit susceptible to some of that damage there. Yeah, Minotaurs. Yeah, those are the Minotaurs. I like that Falcon. That's really good. So the Dragonback Slayer is going to be surging in now, finally getting into the fight they actually want to be in. Harpies are going to be getting in there as well. Harpies are actually infantry sized, so Slayers don't get a bonus for large in that respective fight, so it's not going to be the best situation for them. But we're going to see if the Dawi can kind of hold here. I mean, they might be able to claw their way back in the game. They still do have some gyrocopters up in the skies that can get some decent shots here. Maybe just sit on top of the Beast Lord and try and finish him off. The Thane has only 3 kills. Bugman's Rangers shooting in, doing some okay work, but yeah, they're just going to have a bad time. This Beastcaster over here should be active. I mean, it could easily be shutting down these guys, but it looks like he may have forgotten about it, which is okay. It happens to everyone. Rune Lord in the back is going to be fighting against Harpies and some of these Slayers. So the Slayers, they got their axes out for Harambe here. They're going to be chopping some of these guys down. And the Rune Lord is a nice little anchor piece. Like, he's going to be able to hold. He's tanky, 120 armor, and he could stand amongst the Slayers, giving them the rune support. But yeah, the Dwarves are just losing so much all across the battlefield. The Bugman's Rangers are just being hunted down. Flock of Doom, the Minotaurs. I like that. Minotaurs, that's really good. The Minotaurs are going to be charging in. The Beast Lord charging in. And yeah, these Dwarves are pretty much all going to be offline. Gyrocopters actually got taken out by Harpies. Harpies, yeah, can kill Gyrocopters one-on-one quite easily. So they're a bit of a risky investment, in my opinion. So the Rune Lord's going to be charging in here. Going to be fighting that good old fight. He's got his axe out for the Dwarf Lords, and but there's only so many Slayers. There's 40 of them. They're going to be great against what's left here, especially with the Thane. Razorgore herds are going to be breaking. I mean, maybe? No, the Minotaurs are just so strong. That would be pretty crazy if he held here. That would be incredible if he did. This gyrocopter is pushed off the battlefield here by the Harpies, and the 2 Bugman's Rangers are actually going to be fighting Razorgore herds, and maybe they'll actually make an okay hold here. I mean, they're steady and they're healing, and there's a little bit of Overwatch support coming in. So if he's able to break these Razorgore herds, that could actually be quite nice, and they do Rampage. The Dwarf Slayers are getting a little bit thin, down to 37 models, but they are getting a lot of kills, 155, and the Thane... No, there's just too much. I mean, if this was all, but then again, I was kind of not taking into account these Beast Swords and other troops like here. So yeah. Yeah. This is something. The Razorgore Chariots and the Beast Lord are going to be charging in here, more Baconators in the back. And it looks like the Dragonback Slayers are going to be getting taken out, as that is probably going to be all she wrote for the Dwarves this game. It's just a matter of a grind at this point, while the Beastmen just kind of grind them down. The Minotaurs are just cleaning up the edge of the map, just getting those free kills, and the Miners is trying to push the Dwarves quicker to army losses. Block of Doom does go down, but it looks like there's also going to be a Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And Rune Lord is very tanky. He's no High King Thorgrim, so he's not going to be able to kind of solo this whole force, but he's going to be going down in a matter of time. But look at this, like the Beastmen are actually getting a little bit tattered up here, but yeah, that's going to be army losses. So with that, Kark is going to be normalizing the series here, going 1-1 here. So it is a best of 5, so there's certainly going to be a couple more games to be played, which is going to be fun, and we'll see how it goes. So let us go into the breakdown here. Yes, it was a cool build from the Dwarves for sure. A little bit ambitious, I think. I think that against the Beastmen you have to play like with better infantry, and I mean the Bugman's Rangers are good too, but I don't know. Like, if you're dealing with Razorgore Chariots, they're heavily armored, so you need, like, some punch. Gyrocopters are okay. I'm not a fan of them in this matchup either. But again, it's a build that may have worked for him. I mean, everyone has different playstyles. If I were to play against Dwarves, I would probably, or against Beastmen, I would probably go with, like, Dwarf Warriors in the front line, and then I would get, like 4 Thunders. I would get, like, 3 Slayers, just to kind of sweep up the Razorgore herds and things like that. Like, and yeah, it would be a little bit different. All right, so that is going to be that. We're going to be going to the next game here, so let me load it on in. And we're going to game 3, which is going to be Kark on the Wood Elves facing off against Regia, who's going to be playing Bretonnia. We had a pretty good Tomb Kings match earlier in the stream, so if you missed it, you can see it earlier. It was very good. And here we are. Kark with the Wood Elves facing off against Regia, who's going to be playing... And now normally the Wood Elves get countered very, very heavily by Bretonnia. But again, it was a pick and ban system, so I'm not sure whose turn it was at this point, but they could have banned him. So it looks like he chose to take the Bretonnian matchup on the chin. So we're going to pause this and jump into the battle here. And we'll see you in a sec. All right, guys. Here we are in the game. 1-1 of the series. Kark was able to normalize the series in that last game. Jordan, thank you for the kind words, man. Oh, no, let's actually put it in slow motion. So Kark is going to be playing Wood Elves, and he's going to be coming in with Big Papa D. So Big Papa Dirthu is a pretty good choice against Bretonnia. He's very tanky. He can cleave a lot of the armored knights. He's an unorthodox pick for sure and can catch people off guard. So he does have Dirthu. For the front line, he's going to be rocking some Dryads. Now, Dryads can beat down Bretonian infantry pretty effectively, like men-at-arms and peasant mobs and things like that, but they're not going to, win the game against the Bretonian knights, which is the main issue, because Bretonian heavy cav can just ride through your front line. They can ride through your wild riders. Unless maybe you're Falcon and you're going with like 3 Wild Riders with like the Helm of Discord, and I don't even know how that build works, but he makes it work every time. But yeah, the Weight Watchers in the back are going to be good against the Knights if they can be protected. He's got a couple Eternal Guard on the flanks. In the back, he's got Sisters of Thorn, 2 more of the Eternal Guard, and then also the Sisters of Thorn. Now in Deep Vanguard, look at this. What is this, a Waystalker? What year is this? There's a Vanguarded Waystalker. That is absolute madness. So there's a Waystalker back there as well. And for the Bretonnian army, the front line, it's going to be men-at-arms with shields, pretty standard. Peasant archers honestly aren't terrible. There's a lot of lightly armored targets, and if you can get your peasant archers trading volleys with Weight Watchers, you're in good shape. In the back, he does also have the Fey Enchantress, pretty standard with the Paladin for anti-large, which is going to be great against Dirthu. Granted, his AP is a little bit low. And he does have Knights of the Realm, which is all you really need to deal with Wild Riders and Sisters. Knights of the Realm back here, and then Knights of the Realm at the back. So this is going to be a pretty hard matchup here for the Wood Elves. I just think those Knights are going to be able to pressure the back line too hard. I actually don't even remember how the outcome of this game was, so I'm seeing it with you guys for the first time. Jordan, I'm glad you enjoy the nicknames, man. Yes, Dirthu with his Girthu. That's pretty good. Girthu? Dude, Christian, that's great, man. That's great. Girthu, I love that. Anyways, the forces of the Bretonnians are going to be advancing. The Weight Watchers are going to be opening up shop, trying to snipe the Grail Relic. I don't know if I agree with that. It doesn't seem like it's that important of a target. I mean, the Dryads are going to win that fight anyways, but I guess it's 650 gold that you can actually hit, and it's big and slow. But yeah, he's wasting so much ammo in that thing. I mean, honestly, methodically picking off the Peasant Archers, like, I think is a little bit of a better choice because they are going to do a lot of damage against your Dryads. Over here on the flank, we do have some of the defenders of Flare de Lis who are going to be coming over here, and the Waystalker. So the meme was not a dream. He did deploy the Waystalker over here, and you can see the Knights of the Realm are able to just get over here and just destroy him. So that's a huge loss. Kark already on the ropes here, and the Bretonnian Knights are going to be getting intercepted by the Sisters of Thorn. But if they can actually pin them in with the Eternal Guard coming in the back here, so if they can slow them and poison them, the defenders of Flare de Lis are going to have a really bad time. Now, the Dryads in the front line are doing their thing. Way Watchers are conserving their ammo, but Carp's doing a very good job, actually. He's cursing them. He's using the Spears and the Sisters to kind of counterplay them, and the Way Watchers are going to tear those Knights of the Realm up. So far, though Kark did take a heavy loss over here on the flanks with the Way Watcher going down, he's actually responding in kind pretty effectively. Now, Big Papa Durthu is going to be summoning a Manticore, which is probably going to attack the Archers. And he's also going to be helping out in this frontline fight, also dropping a Flock of Doom on 2 groups of Bretonnian infantry. So good stuff by Kark and by Warezha. They're both playing very, very well here. The Knights in the back are going to be taken out by the Sisters, and these Knights of the Realm are going to be getting hammered horribly. So the Sisters with the Curse plus the Overwatch Fire and the buffering from the Spears seems to be doing pretty well. Now the Peasant Archers are just unloading all their fire arrows into Durthu, and he is a flammable tree. So though his armor is going to mitigate a lot of that damage, he's also going to be taking an extra amount of damage because of the fire. The Manticore Summon is going to be attacking the Fey Enchantress, and the Sisters of Thorn are going to be jumping into the back line here and going after the Peasant Bowmen with the fire arrow. So the Peasant Bowmen in the back are going to be having a bad time here, but there are Knights of the Realm in reserve, and if they can actually get that good engagement here, oh, look at the Manticores coming in. If the Knights get that charge, that's going to be very painful for the Sisters of Thorn. So they're going to be taking a charge. Fey Enchantress draining them, but the Curse is going to be going down to slow down those Knights, so the Sisters might be able to get away. A little bit hard to say. Now, Way Watchers are in good shape. They're going to be unloading onto the Grail Relique, which again, I think is a huge mistake. It's not an important target. Kill the Peasant Bowmen. I think they're a much better choice to kind of focus down, because they're actually going to damage you back, number one. And what the hell is this thing doing? The Grail Relique is just going to be buffing like 2 groups of shitty infantry here. It's not really a big deal. Anyways, in the back, the Knights of the Realm are back in pursuit here. So they're going to be chasing down the Sisters, and even these beat-up Knights of the Realm, if they get the charge, oh, that's not good. Sisters of Thorn are going to be taking some heavy casualties here as they do get kind of dumpstered here by some of the Knights. May still be able to win that fight, but the Knights are going to trade very cost-effective in that engagement. Now, the Way Watchers are going to be pulling back, and the Peasant Archers are doing some good work. Sisters are trying to penetrate the back line, but the Knights of Bretonnia, in great numbers, are able to kind of, really fend them off. Now, a second Manticore is going to be coming down here. Durthu is a bit of a risky pick also if you don't bring healing, because he's a big target. He definitely is a magnet, and with healing he becomes extremely powerful. Way Watchers are finally shooting into the Peasants and the Knights here, which is a good choice. I think getting rid of those guys is going to be quite crucial. And the Knights of the Realm, he has a group of 36 right here. There's just like a fight to the death here on the edge of the map. These Bretonnian Knights just fighting through the lady. 35 leadership. I mean, they're heavily winning this fight because they, again, have anti-large. They're armored against the low AP of these Sisters. And wow, these Bretonnian Knights are actually able to break the Sisters of Thorn off the edge of the map. Huge catch right there. Very, very good stuff. The Way Watcher never came back. It looks like some Eternal Guard went out there to maybe try and stabilize that, but they just didn't get the job done. And Durthu is going to be going down right here, probably to the Paladin and the Fey Enchantress. He's going to be shambling away, but the Paladin's fast. The Paladin has anti-large, even on horseback, and of course is going to do well. And the Fey Enchantress still is like an okay combatant. She's not a complete slouch. She does have 42 melee attack, it looks like, so that's not going to be terrible. So Big Daddy Durthu going to be dropping that sweet girth over there. The Peasant mobs are surging forth. The Grail Relique is still fighting, and it's actually just kind of beating down some of those Dryads right there. But the Bretonnian Knights are in okay shape. He has Knights of the Realm here, and they could probably just collapse in here and finish these guys off. I mean, even if you don't, you just send in Peasants, and the Way Watchers are not going to want to waste ammo there. So Durthu is going to be going down right there. And yeah, I don't know, he's got how much HP? He's going to check 499, negative 30. He might actually shatter here. He's taking that perpetual pressure while he's broken, which generally leads to a shatter. And yeah, Durthu's got 262 HP. So the Peasants at this point, oh, this might actually be a good opportunity for the Way Watchers to snipe these characters out. Durthu falls, get all your archers firing, good stuff. So Kark does realize this is an opportunity. He's going to be shooting in, and a really nice volley. Good stuff there from Kark. He's able to get some damage on them. It's not as lethal as it was earlier, because again, they're a little bit kind of tattered up at this point. One of them is at half their firing capacity. But a nice Earthblood is going to mitigate that. You probably want to target the Fey Enchantress because she has no armor mitigation, so she would get popped pretty quick. But yeah, the Peasants are just going to advance. The Peasant Tide moves forth onto the to the Lads of the Forest, and there's still Peasant Archers. Yeah, the Peasant Archers are going to be able to pressure these guys too. Yeah, this is good. Don't just keep the Knights of the Realm back until you waste their ammo, at which point you can then just chase them down. Just send in the hordes of Peasants, send in the bodies. That is how Bretonnia rolls. Or let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah, Bretonnia has a very good matchup versus Wood Elves. It's already a hard matchup. It can be done. I think I've seen Falcon do it a couple times. Like he's really good at Wood Elves. Anyways, here the Way Watchers are going to be shooting in, just melting some of the Knights of the Realm here. Knights of the Realm going to be getting a charge for the lady. These are the heroes that actually finished off the guys on the back of the map, which is quite nice. And they do get a nice little charge here into some of the Eternal Guard, which is yeah, good stuff. Peasant Archers are going to be taking a fat volley to the face, losing some models, but you know what? They'll waver, they'll retreat, but they'll always come back for Legion Lady. This is the finals, Dimmy G. It's currently 1-1, best of 5 in the series. Carp is playing the Wood Elves, and Warlock is playing the forces of Bretonnia. So if we look at the battlefield, mostly Bretonians, just kind of a sweeping on the remnants of the Wood Elf force. We can even fast forward at this point, as it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. The Fey Enchantress and company could easily just swoop in here and attack these guys, and the Bretonian tide is just going to be advancing, wearing down the Wood Elves, just peasant body by peasant body. And with that, Warlock is going to be taking game 2 in this series, going up in the series. So let's go ahead and do this. Here we go, in the words of Mario. Hard matchup for the Wood Elves. Very difficult matchup. Carp had some really good play in the beginning, using his cav to countercharge the Bretonian cav, slow them down, and allow the spears to kind of catch up and clean up shop. I'm trying to think about the bigger mistakes. Honestly, I think Carp was fighting from a huge deficit the entire time. Having the Waystalker get caught like that, that's like 800, 900 gold for free. So in an already hard matchup, you're fighting at a huge deficit. So his memes were not dreams this time. So the Waystalker unfortunately got caught out. Bretonnia got pretty much a free kill there. And on top of that, I think some of the focus from the Waywatchers in the beginning was a little bit off, trying to snipe the Grail Relic. He should have been either shooting the Peasant Bowman or just saving his ammo. Yeah, I mean, the Peasant Bowmen are actually a threat. They can kill your Dryads and kill your Cav and kill your Waywatchers. The Grail Relic isn't a big deal. Like, you're going to pull them apart to the point where the Grail Relic isn't going to be good. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. So that's game 2. So we got another couple games coming up, guys. If Warlock is able to win the next game, that will end the series. If Carp wins, we will go to game 5. Peasant power all day. And we got a donation from One Man's Way. Have you ever seen campaign map tourneys at Games Workshop back in the day? If you did a territory map tournament with Microsoft Paint, I would throw down money to follow that. Yeah, I actually was talking to someone about that. That was something that I had thought about doing. I just kind of got sidetracked with other stuff. Yeah, someday I'll probably do something. I'm not sure if maybe now would be fun, or I don't know. Good stuff, One Man's Way. Thank you for reminding me about that, because there was a gentleman I was supposed to follow up with about that, helping me with it, but I just forgot. So thank you for the huge donation, and also thank you for that. So Carp lost his bark. He played well. He played a really good game. That's a hard matchup as is. And the Waywatcher Gambit was cool, but it was a little bit risky. Back to the desk we go. Hey guys, what's up? It is I, with my ugly mug. And we are going to we're on game 4. We are on game 4. So I'm going to get some water real quick, guys. So hang tight, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Got some water. I'm good to go. All hail the mighties rising from the deep. Oh yeah, Vampire Coast in the last game, by the way. Let's do it. Well, not in the last. It's actually not the last game, but in the next game. Oh. We haven't seen any giants from Carp. It's so quiet and eerie. It's so hot outside. It's like 104 degrees. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. We used to sing that in high school when I played high school football, and we used to sing that on the bus to our games, like on the way back and stuff. Unless we lost. Music next time, you got it. 100%, we shall take care of it. All right, guys, here we are in Game 4. Carp is down 1 game. Warezha is up. If Warezha wins, the series is over. And if Carp wins, we're going to go to Game 5. Not a slip, don't you worry. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the builds. Vampire Coast, who's going to be Carp. So Carp's playing Vampire Coast. He does have Count and Oculus on foot, pretty much the old school of competitive play. He does also have a couple Sirens in the back. So Sirene's something you don't see terribly often. I don't know their application against Empire. I mean, normally against state troops, I guess they're very tough to kill. And they do have decent AP against like Cav and stuff like that. So maybe a backline protection unit. And they do cause terror as well. So that, I guess that's something is to, yeah. Turin, you started, you can't stop at 98. Oh my God, no, I have to stop. So there's also going to be 2 carronades. So we have, 2 carronades or just one carronade. A gun line, so he's got a bunch of handguns, front line of deckhand mobs, Sirens in the back as a sweeper, kind of defensive unit, halberds on the flanks against the Empire heavy cav, and he does also have Fellbat. So cool little army. It's very, very defensive. I honestly think it's very hard to beat the Empire without scary dogs, but some people play without them. I personally am not a fan of that. Yeah, I used to live in Northern California, Benjamin. Yeah, I used to live in San Jose because I used to work for. I was an athletic director up in Northern California in San Jose for several years. So for the forces of the Vampire Coast, they also have the Night Terrors, like I said, but that's pretty much it for the army. Sirens, he's got carronades, a gun line, all that good stuff. Now, for the Empire, we have the new caster. So this is going to be Warezha. He does have an Amethyst Wizard with Spirit Leech, which is going to be very good against Count and Oculus. On ground, he's got a bunch of Spearmen with shields. Pretty much standard meta. You don't need much to beat the Vampire Coast infantry, and you just want to hold and win with your other elements usually. For the guns, he does have a great cannon here, and up on the high ground, he does have the Hammer of the Witches, which I like to call the Rob Zombie gun. Burn through the witches and slam through the ditches. Anyways, we got the Tattersouls up here, Empire Knights. In the back, we got crossbowmen, just crossbows going into the sunset. 2 groups of Flagellants, which I actually really like against Vampire Coast. As long as you bring them in the late game and they're not taking all that gunfire, they can actually really burn through the infantry pretty quick. And the melee attack of the Vampire Coast is so bad that you don't really have to worry about them dying quickly, even with 10 melee defense. So Flagellants are a cool pick. For his lord, who the hell is his lord? Oh, is it Pimp Daddy Gelt? It is him. It is Balthazar Gelt. Warezha is really trying to win your hearts here, guys. He's played Dwarves, Empire, man, all the good stuff. So he's got the Searing Bolts, and he does also have, that's it. So he's just going to be doing it for the AoEs and using Spirit Leech to pop Noctilus. Plus, with Balthazar Gelt, you get the mana regen, the Staff of Lons, which is going to allow you to do more Spirit Leeches, which I like quite a bit. I also forgot to mention, Carp does have a couple groups of Fellbats in the corners, which are going to be essential for shutting down cannons and things like that. How old am I? I'm 30 years old. Yes. I'm the big 3-0. So firstly, there's going to be an Overcasted Spirit Leech actually going down on the Sirens in the back. So he's not going to be targeting Noctilus, but Noctilus does respond with the Wraith Storm and get some pretty good damage. So the Amethyst Wizard certainly pays the iron price for his transgressions here. Now that Spirit Leech on the Sirens, I don't know if that was worth it. I mean, I don't know. Sniping Noctilus is pretty good. Although he maybe has more like unit killing potential because Balthazar Gelt does have the Searing Doom. So there is something for that to kind of, something to be said for that. Now the cannons are shooting in as well. They can't see the Night Terrors. The Night Terrors do of course have the stock mechanic, so they're going to probably be shooting the carronade in the back trying to trade here, or they can start shooting Noctilus. Now let's actually watch for a second and see where the carronades are shooting. It doesn't look like they're firing yet. Now they're firing. Okay, so that one's firing. Hammer of the Witches is going to just straight up rob Zombie some hoes, which is always going to be fun. And Gelt's, man, that Amethyst Wizard needs to be careful. There's no healing. So the cannonball is shooting in, and it just misses. It looks like it was going after Noctilus, maybe. No, it's going after the Sirens in the back. So it will do. The Hammer of the Witches does magic damage, so that is pretty big. Oh no, the Amethyst Wizard flies forward. Carp is easily going to be able to get a ton of damage here. This is such a bold strategy, Cotton. So is he going to be able to pull back and get away? It looks like he's going to barely dodge some of that fire. Oh, he takes like 200 damage. No, he was able to dodge most of those shots. He does have to cancel the Spirit Leech, though. So, he realized at the last second that was going to be a bold strategy. Now, in the back, some Fellbats have landed on the crossbows, but there are Flagellants nearby who should rush over and help for sure. So these Flagellants need to go help those crossbowmen. Granted, the crossfire from the other crossbowmen could probably, finish them off on its own. And some of the crossbows are going to be shooting at the Fellbats, trying to get rid of some of the skirmishing potential. The Night Terrors are still, they're now visible. So both carronades are probably going to be shooting at the Night Terrors, I would imagine. You can see they're going to be surging forward. And shooting the Night Terrors is a great idea. You know why? Because they rampage. They rampage means they lose control, and then you can just easily kill them with spears and bows and things like that. So that's going to be neat. So anyways, over here, Balthazar Gelt's going to be flying over to help against those Fellbats. So Geltman comes down with his Pimp Cane. Sirens are going to be charging in, but the Brave State troops of Sigmar are going to intercept. But with some good micro, Carp can easily get these Sirens up and through and start pressuring, because some of them do get caught here, but he should pass. I mean, unless he just wants to tear out these spearmen and then push in, there is something to be said for that. So the crossbowmen are going to be shooting at the Sirens. The Hammer of the Witches is going to be shooting in the back after the other group of Sirens. It's gotten them down to 32 models, which isn't bad. These crossbows here are shooting. I mean, the Empire has a very good staggered formation, so it's going to be tough to collapse everything at once. Crossbows also shooting back into the deckhand mobs. Crossbows should fall back because they have 160 range. There's no point to trade with guns. Like, you have the range advantage. Balthazar Gelt, in the meantime, is going to be attacking the Fellbats, so him and Quicksilver have their hands full for sure. And in the back, it looks like some of the deckhand mobs are doing a very wide route, which is quite interesting. So guns are shooting in as well. They're going to be shooting the crossbowmen. So a lot of the Empire backline is being compromised in many respects. Hammer of the Witches is still shooting, and the Flagellants, which were in deep reserve, are now going to be charging in just rock hard for Sigmar. And yeah, they're going to be able to beat down these deckhand mobs. Their offensive stats are just so much better. So it's only a matter of time before the deckhand mobs get cleaved. I actually really am a huge fan of Flagellants in this matchup. So over here, you can see the Empire Knights are able to finish off the Fellbats. So good backline sweeping here from the Empire. It looks like Gojira is able to kind of clean those guys up. And now, honestly, just take these Empire Knights and ride just right down the throat of these gunnery mobs. There's no reason not to. So the Empire Knights are going to go forward with the Spearmen. Count Noctis is kind of supporting the back line, but the Flagellants are just doing so much work. And Tattersoul is actually able to beat down those Sirens somehow, even with the damage resist. Those Tattersouls are definitely hitting quite hard. So pretty close fight so far, maybe a slight balance of power advantage for the Empire. The crossbows are shooting in, but these Empire Knights, what are they doing? So some of the brave sons of Sigmar have engaged here, these spearmen, but the Empire Knights need to get in there. Now, as far as the Vampire Coast, what can they do to remedy their situation? The cannon here probably wants to shoot at the Empire Knights to start getting rid of that big threat. The guns for Vampire Coast are just so just mucked up now. I would probably send one gunnery mob over here, one back here, and form a bit of a kill box. And the Night Terrors are fighting, and they're doing an okay job, but they're fighting against spears, and they rampage, which is why I'm not a huge fan of them in this matchup. Yeah, the Terror's cool and all, but the rampage is just like, you're losing so much utility, especially against the Empire, who already has a lot of good tools against those guys. So if we look around here, you can see that Count Noctis is going to be getting dragged with another Spirit Leech. So that Amethyst Wizard doing the work of the Dark Gods here, or Hish, or whoever he worships. The Empire Knights eventually did get into the back line, and I'm not sure why these halberds were way out here for Carp. I think he was trying to sneak around and get to the cannon, but in doing so, he left his guns unprotected, and the Empire Knights are going to be able to easily clean those guys up. There's plenty of crossbow support, and Flagellants are such a solid pick here because they're unbreakable. So the terror for the Sirens completely nullified. Basically, you're just getting these Walmart Banshees right now who just can't deal with the Flagellants, which is a pretty big factor. So the Sirens here are going to be shanking down, but the Flagellants, they do not give a shit. They're shirtless. These guys are not going to be taking any of that. They whip themselves, quite literally, to train themselves for such fights. So yeah, they're going to be able to probably win that fight, especially with another group of Flagellants coming in. They're like, brothers for Sigmar! And they're going to be rushing in and just clubbing some of these guys. So beautiful stuff right there. Sirens in a little bit of trouble. Good night, sweet princesses. You guys are in grim shape. But there's still quite a bit more. Sirens here are in good shape. He's got Gunline, which he was able to stabilize using Count Noctis, so very well played there by Carp. Over here, the gunnery mobs and the halberds are going to be fighting the Tattersouls up on the high ground. And the Night Terrors somehow were able to remedy that situation, get away, and they killed the Hammer of the Witches, it looks like, and the crossbowmen. So I don't know how that happened, but the Night Terrors were able to escape there, and I think it was because Noctis and the guns were providing overwatch fire. So now both players, if you guys take a big look at the battlefield, Empire has secured this side of the battlefield, Vampire Coast very much winning on this side of the battlefield. So I actually thought it was going to be over relatively soon, but it looks like Carp is clawing his way back in the game. He's got his gun lines back online. They're shooting. They're taking out the Empire Knights, but if the Empire Knights get this carronade before they break, that is going to be huge. So they get onto the carronade. Ooh, that is really rough for the Vampire Coast. If this carronade survives, I think he'll be in okay shape, but if it goes down, that is going to be a huge loss. This is a very big, heavy-hitting tool. And you always got to leave a zombie to defend these things, like especially if you're paying for it. Yeah. So the carronade here is going to be going down to the Empire Knights. Beautiful play here from Warlock. Getting back here, the Empire Knights are able to toss the salad of this carronade pretty badly. And the Empire's, rallying as well. They have their crossbows, but the Night Terrors are coming in. The crossbows need to take those guys out. The Sirens here are still kind of trolling a bit, but here comes a massive volley, so it's going to be doing... Ooh, man, that did like almost 1,000 damage. They do rampage as well. Balthazar Gelt might want to sweep in there. It looks like a Spirit Leech is going to be going down on the Sirens here. Of course, getting the magic damage on those ethereal units is going to be quite important. The Flagellants here were able to win their fight, but they only have 5 models, and these guys are just like, they're like, I love the pain. Just shoot me. I mean, at least they're absorbing these shots, right? So these 2 brave Flagellants, 68 HP, are going to be taking another volley to the face. Look at these brave heroes charging in. Forget all the tactical insight in the battle. Let's just watch these guys. What heroes. What a hero. He went down for Sigmar. That was good stuff. So, I mean, he bought time. Look, that was like 2 volleys that could have been shooting spearmen. So those guys, hey, they did their thing. So here, the Sirens are getting relatively low. There's going to be some spearmen in here, I think, or is it just crossbowmen? Oh, actually, that's a little bit grim. Looks like Vampire Coast might be able to kind of sweep these crossbowmen plus sweep these other ones here. So the Vampire Coast getting back into this game. I actually thought it was going to be a clean sweep by the Empire in the mid game here, but you can see the guns for Vampire Coast are coming in. They're pretty healthy. Noctilus is in okay shape as well. I believe this cannon up on the high ground is shooting Noctilus. I think it's been kind of just trying to pop him off. He only has 1500 HP, and he's probably running a little bit low in Winds of Magic, so Arcane Conduit is going to get dropped. There still is an Amethyst Wizard as well, so there still may be Spirit Leeches. Oh no, these Empire Knights are just doing so good this game. Granted, there are some Halberds kind of protecting these guys now. I actually thought that was another gunnery mob, so the Empire Knights, a true Last Samurai moment. They're just going to charge in, taking those shots for Sigmar, but yeah, they're not going to be happy about that. Now, Noctilus does heal himself up with an Invocation of Hex single cast. The Night Terrors are going to be getting taken out by spears, so the attrition of the Empire infantry is able to kind of hold these guys back, and you can see that the Night Terrors, yeah, they're going to be going down. So yeah, not so terrifying for these Flagellants, I suppose. Sirens here are able to chase off the crossbowmen, so very good play there by Carp. He needs to get those guys chase off both crossbowmen, and then it's really just going to be this high ground position. Balthazar, but Balthazar Gelt is still full health. Him and Quicksilver, you know, they mean business. The Vampire Coast guns were able to clean up all the Empire cannons in the back, or not cannons, but excuse me, the cav units. And look at this, the Tattersouls plus the Spearmen are actually able to kind of secure this hill again, which means, no, the Hammer of the Witches crew. Oh, there's the Hammer of the Witches crew. If they can get back up to their cannon, that is going to be huge. But Noctilus knows this. He's going to be coming in. He's like, not in my house. But he's got 38 speed against their 20. So yeah, they're probably not going to be able to get away. But oh, he lets them go. Oh no. So the Hammer of the Witches is going to get back online and burn through the witches and slam through the ditches, Dragula, all that good stuff. It is not going to be fun for them. And you can see down here that the Sirens are going to get tagged with another Spirit Leech. So a great utility coming in from that Empire caster. I don't think I've seen Balthazar Gelt cast a single Searing Doom this whole game, really. I mean, yeah, I don't know. So the pistols are summoned, so Noctilus does drop a summon right here. He's going to be shooting Balthazar Gelt. He gets some pretty good value. Man, these players are having a great series. Awesome stuff. Noctilus is going to be going up to the high ground. The crossbows are going to be shooting him, but yeah, these guys are just going to be unleashing a couple more shots before Noctilus gets to them and shanks them with his giant trident. Over here on the far side, we do have the Tattersouls and Spears. Oh, they can actually protect the Hammer of the Witches against Noctilus, which is big. If they get over here, that's going to be huge. Now, the Empire does surge down from the hill with their state troops. They are going to be taking a huge beating on the advance. Oh man, that fire is withering. So -3, are they going to stabilize or are they going to break? And they do break to that gunfire, so that's very, very good for Kark here, keeping those guns online. And it looks like, oh no, I did not see this. So Kark has, or excuse me, Wareja has the Sigmar Sons. So these guys are the perfect choice against what's left on the battlefield. They're going to take these gunshots. They're shielded. They do not give a shit. They're going to push in there, and they're going to destroy those zombie pirate deckhand mobs, or the gunnery mobs, like with ease. So Noctilus is able to get here. Hammer of the Witches is back online, so it's going to start shooting again. It's probably going to get a couple volleys off, actually, before Noctilus is able to kind of shut those guys down, especially if he has it in guard mode, which means they'll keep carrying out their order despite being attacked. So man, what a game between these two players. There's also a gunnery mob on the far side, which is advancing, shooting at the spearmen, but there's crossbows here. Balthazar Gelt and the wizard could also charge in and compromise this guy. That's probably what I would do. Send in the spears, time a charge with your wizards. And it looks like the Flagellants might be able to hold back Noctilus. They're not going to be able to kill him, but the Hammer of the Witches does scoot forward, actually, and gets away from him, which is crazy. And Sigmar Sons took a hammering from those guns, but now they're here, and they are pissed. They're going to be just beating down these zombies. Not going to be a good situation for them. And you can see the deckhand mobs, yeah, going to be getting taken out pretty easily by them. In the meantime, you can see the zombie pirate gunnery mobs with handguns are able to finish off those spearmen. The Flagellants still fighting. Oh, the last Flagellant hero. We have to watch this. Come on, I hope this guy lives. Come on, Flagellant. You're the last of your kind. Do not go down to these zombies. Is he going to fight here? Oh no, he's taking halberds. He's fighting with his fellow state troops. He gets in there with a jump attack. Oh no, but he overextends himself and that Flagellant goes down. Man, I was really hoping he would live. So Balthazar Gelt's going to swoop in. The gunfire, Overwatch fire is going to be taking out the Amethyst Wizard as he approaches. He might actually survive that. He does have like 15% missile resist, as most characters do. Sigmar Sons are able to finish off the zombie pirate gunnery mobs in the back. Crossbows and company. Oh, and that cannon's back online. Noctilus, of course, will probably win this fight over here, but nonetheless, he is in for a world of hurt, as there's a lot of troops over here waiting for him. Sigmar Sons and rear charges from Balthazar Gelt should be able to finish him off. I don't know. Vampire Coast is still in the game in regards to the balance of power, but in terms of what's actually on the battlefield, the halberds here are going to get finished off for sure. The cannon is now shooting Noctilus. These Flagellants are going to be just, hitting him with their clubs, which is not fun. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do drop a like. It does help out quite a bit. So yeah, Balthazar Gelt getting in here with Quicksilver. He's got his pimp cane. He's going to be giving the business to these guys. And look at that. The vampires crumble in the mere presence of Balthazar Gelt. None can stand to his might. And him and Quicksilver are going to be pulling back up in the skies. So Sigmar Sons, they got their work cut out for them. They got to take out Noctilus, but the cannon is really nice. And Hammer of the Witches is, the crew is running. So yeah, no matter where Noctilus goes, the crew can just kind of run and get back on the cannon, especially if he gets like charged and knocked over by Balthazar or some of these other troops. Noctilus is a beast. I mean, he's very tough to take down. It also depends on the summons he has. if he has a couple summons, like if Noctilus had like 2 or 3 summons left, he might actually be able to win this game. So he's going to be dropping an Invocation on himself. It isn't a bad choice. But the cannons to the face up on the high ground from that Great Cannon are going to be able to melt him relatively effectively. So he's in trouble, and it looks like there's going to be a summon going down here. Oh yeah, nice summon. Very good stuff. And it was the gunnery mob, so it looks like the Overcast is going down, but it's going to get some shots into these guys, but the Spearmen are going to get in there and might actually be able to beat them. This is such an insane game. Like, this whole series, all of today has just been insanely close. Just insanely close. So Balthazar Geld up in the skies, shouting commands down to his fellow troops. The gunnery mobs here are able to finish those guys off, and he does have them in guard mode. So Kark is making sure to put them in guard mode. He's shooting them off. The Tatter Souls, all 2 of them, these guys deserve a promotion. Look at them. They've just been like hustling all game after this vampiric monstrosity, who's obviously stronger than them, right? What heroes. Anyways, so the Flagellant's going to be charging in. Noctilus and company are able to clean up that gun line, so suddenly it looks like Kark might be able to get back in the game. I mean, Sigmar Sons, if this was pre-patch and these summons would stay around longer, I think the Empire might be in a little bit of trouble. But even still, they could still wait it out if they wanted to. So this cannon crew, oh, they're out of ammo. Oh, look at this. Oh, MLG tricks. So this cannon crew is going to be running into fight, and the other cannon crew, I believe you can put them on other cannons, is going to be jumping on the cannon here, which is going to be huge. State troops up here are going to be resting. They're both very tired, so you might as well just kind of drag it out here and wait for the gunnery mobs to disappear. That cannon crew ran in against Noctilus, and are they going to hit him? Yep, they did some HP damage. I saw 1 damage go in there. And the Hammer of the Witches crew is, I don't know if they can actually go on that cannon. I can't quite remember how that works. I think you can. Yeah. So Gelt could do some cycle charging for sure. The gunnery mobs are going to be disappearing in a couple seconds. Oh my god, this is such a close game. This is incredibly close. Balthazar Gelt's on a little bit of trouble. Is the Amethyst Wizard anywhere to be found? Okay, I'm not seeing him here. I think the Amethyst Wizard got taken out. And if Kark is able to win this, if Vampire Coast wins, we will go to Game 5, but if Warezha wins, that's actually going to be the series with a 3-1 victory. Oh my god, what a close game. Noctilus is going to be searching for the Sigmar Sons. These guys are going to be disappearing in just a second, which is going to be huge, because if they didn't disappear, Sigmar Sons would be taking a ton of damage from their ammunition. Alright, this is it. We have Sigmar Sons and Balthazar Gelt facing off against Count Noctilus. This is just insanity. Now, if Noctilus has any more summons, I think that could actually be... that could probably be all she wrote. That could probably be all she wrote. Balthazar Gelt coming in with the steel chair, getting that rear charge, knocking him over, which is great, kind of keeping him pinned down. Arcane Conduit is online, but, you know, Sigmar Sons have good combat stats, 38 and 44. They're going to be able to make steady, consistent contact here with Noctilus. And, yes, let's get an angle here so I can drink some water and you can just watch. So, yeah, Balthazar Gelt coming in on Quicksilver. And, oh, man, he gets him good. He got a nice little charge right there. Beautiful stuff. And you can see here that Balthazar Gelt getting a little bit of damage on Noctilus, if it's not a lot. But Sigmar Sons are unbreakable. If there's like 1 unit left that you don't want to fight, it's Sigmar Sons. Like, those guys are just going to hold and just like grind you down to the last HP. And Noctilus is like okay against crowds. Like, he has some decent splash, it looks like. But, I mean, that's so much. So he's in critical binding now. He's at 5. Balthazar Gelt coming in with the Staff of Valon's chair yet again. And the foul Vampiric Lord is going to be slayed by the Sons of Sigmar, led by the Supreme Patriarch, President of the Colleges of Magic. Man, what a series between these two players. It was a 3-1, but those were some tight games. Beautiful stuff. So with that, Warezha is going to be having his name inscribed into the tablet of Tehenwin. He's going to be moving on to the Grand Finals, which of course is going to be a big old erect 8-man tournament. So let us go over to the tablet here and imbue his name. So let's add him. This is like adding your name in the Hollywood Star, you know, Walk of Stars. So images, and we want text. So he shall qualify for today. Got to do this, and got to make sure he has that same cool medieval-like looking text as everyone else. We'll adjust that. And there we have it. We have our winner. Great games for the Empire. I have no idea where all the bots come from. It's nonsense. But I appreciate all the help from you guys, mods today, crushing the bot uprising. It's like, I feel like Skynet's taking over, just like they're sending in Slanesh porn bots to troll my stream. Man, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Let's have a special shout out. We had some very generous donors today. One Man's Way with the 50, Rando Howard with the 10, the Raw Cauliflower, which, I don't know, can you eat raw cauliflower? I'd love to know the inspiration behind that name. Mr. Esbin for the 100 DKK, Wester, for the 21 euros, it looks like. Thank you there. Magnum Knights with the 5 Canadian. King Agizal with Execute Order 66. Alex Hughes, and Felcon for sponsoring the channel. So you can sponsor that by clicking the join button. And Jason Denny with a 50 as well. So goddamn, that was a rock hard day and some really good games. And also, guys, if you could, I'd appreciate any feedback. And also, yeah, we had a donation on from Tornique on PayPal. I would actually be curious, what do you guys think of this format? Do you guys prefer this live? Let's go to that. Do you guys prefer this live? Like, so I could actually have the players play offline and send me the replays, and we could keep this format if you guys think it's better, or we could keep doing it live. Now, the issue with live is sometimes people disconnect, or it takes longer to get the games going, so the stream can drag on a little bit. This one is a little bit higher and tighter because I have the replays. I can go to pace and I can explain the armies better. But again, there is a certain element to having like a live conflict and knowing the players are playing in that moment that kind of enriches it. So it's a little bit of a I wouldn't say a conundrum, but yeah, Weresha, very well played, man. You did great. But I'd be interested. Let me know in chat and also in the comment section afterwards if you guys have any input on that. I'd be really interested to hear what you guys think because it is kind of cool because if there's players who have scheduling conflicts that you guys really want to see, I can get them in because they can play on their own time and send me the replays. But let me know, guys. Live is better? Okay. I mean, this was live in terms of commentary, but the replays I had, so. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like everyone's kind of has like different opinions. So maybe I'll do a poll in the channel, and we'll see. You much more downtime and talking, so you guys like the conversation. Yeah. But some of you guys like it because it's faster and less problems. Nothing quite like a live game. Yeah, I think there is a strength to that. Okay. Cool, guys. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a mix of both. We'll do like a poll, but I do agree. I personally prefer live. I feel like there's more energy. But this was super fun. I mean, these were great games. Yeah. Plus, you get to see kind of the deployment live, and commentary live is all you care about. All right, guys. Seeing you watch them pick factions is fun. Okay. Good feedback. I really appreciate all the feedback, you guys. It's a bit fast without in-between time. Okay. Yeah, today's stream is about 2 hours. Usually it goes about 2.5 to 3. But again, these games were long too. We had like a lot of like 12-minute games and stuff like that. Cool. Well, guys, I just want to sincerely thank you all for joining and all the generous support. Please make sure to drop a like on your way out because, again, it does help more people find Total War Warhammer, more people in the competitive community. Because, again, the more videos liked, the more YouTube shares it, algorithm 101. And from there, new people can experience the game and join in and play, and it is good for everyone. So I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the donations, hanging out, chatting. It's been a party. You guys rock. We're going to be on a more regular schedule now with the Eternal Challenger League. It's going to be going in pretty deep. We're going to get through the next 3 weeks, and then we're going to have the grand finals, which I'm really looking forward to. So, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone, and we will see you guys on the other side.
Bye.